What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the show tonight. It's really a little bit different. If you're on the Unreasonable Man channel, jump over, click the link, go to Gun Prattle. We're doing some Gun Prattle tonight. I'm going to be on the Reloading podcast. It's a long running podcast. It's about 12 years old. It should be a really good time. And Cool Gamer came to say hi. I won't be here. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. You're going to enjoy it. Good afternoon, So Loud. Good to see everybody. I will be in North Carolina this weekend, So Loud, near Rockingham. I'll be near Rockingham. But anyway, guys, we're going to be talking guns tonight. So get ready and be ready to enjoy. Tell all your friends. Go invite everybody. Tell them to get in here and have a great time. All right, and now I'm going to jump back over there. So if you hear me talking to somebody, I'm not talking to myself. I am talking to somebody else. All right. All right, guys. So while we're waiting on him to get back, and I think he goes live at 7, so we're a few minutes early. Actually, it looks like a few minutes late. That'll be fine. I'm not really sure who all is going to be on the show tonight. We're going to be talking firearms and firearm accessories. We're going to talk about reloading. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. Some of you guys are going to find this to be really cool. Some of you won't. In the meantime, be cool because I'm here to hang out with you and this guy. All right. So, do you have a way to so that I can I can stream this to my guys, but I need I prefer like a full screen, like if we're gonna go to YouTube or something where I can full screen it out. So like to share it to my audience, this is a little different. This looks like almost like a back room sort of deal. So I'm not really sure how to make it look cool. So, but if it was like on um, somewhere else, that would be easier, I think. Yeah. Hmm. Sure. Yeah, I should be able to capture that. That's no problem. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Doing pretty good. Ah, cool. Yeah, sounds like it. Cool. I was in Arizona back in March, and it was 106 degrees, so warm weather doesn't quite cover it. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds right. Sounds right. Yeah. I'm gonna be in North Carolina this weekend. Shoo Yeah, it should be really nice, hopefully. Um, I'm gonna be doing the, Battle for the South, which is a three-gun match, and, it's pretty good. I shot the, original, um, or the first year, and then, I haven't shot it really since, but it's, um it's a really cool match, and it's got a lot of, um well, it's got a lot of input from various people, so
Yeah. Where's that at?
that'll be outside of Rockingham, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So I forget the name of the range. I just had it up, and I've looked at it like a dozen times. I can never remember
Yeah.
what it's called. I'm supposed to shoot next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend. I was supposed to shoot Zombies in the Heartland in Nebraska, but I'm going to have to bow out. It's Coleman's Creek. That's the name of the range. Um,
Hmm.
in North Carolina. Coleman's Creek, Zoo City Armory puts it on. They're the big sponsor of it, and it's a really good. It's just a really good setup. So um, I have a good time with it. I like it a lot. So
I've
yeah,
shot a couple steel challenge matches, but I don't think I could do 3 gun.
yeah. Three guns. It's a great. I mean, I personally love it. I think it's awesome, and I think it has something for just about everybody. But Um, it's a lot of stuff to keep straight. It's a
Hmm.
lot. It's a ton of stuff, and the more specific you get with it, like the pistol ammo is pretty straightforward, but when you get into rifle ammo, I have just hoser ammo. I've got um, basically my all around um, ammo that I'll shoot out to like maybe 200, 250 yards, and then um, anything over about 300, I start thinking about using my long range ammo, and anything over 450, I definitely am using my long range ammo.
Yeah.
So, and then you've got three to four different kinds of shotgun ammo to figure out as well. So, um, it's a thinking man's sport more than anything. I think a lot of people don't really understand that, and so they get frustrated with it. So,
I was playing with the view to see if I could get your entire screen up.
oh, yeah, the background's pretty cool.
There we go.
Yeah,
Now everybody can see you.
yeah, that's me for
I
sure.
like that. I like I wanted to get the "But did you die" up
Yeah,
on the screen.
yeah, right. But did you die? Just keep that in mind. You could always be worse.
Yeah. And I do like the flag, as I was telling you earlier. So.
Yeah, um that was made by there, and I don't know if she's still doing it because this I got this pre COVID, but There was a lady locally who has these plasma cut, and then she hand paints them. And I don't know if she still does it, but she had given one to my local gun shop that actually I kind of worked with at the time. I didn't work with them. I helped them um, out with some stuff, and basically they sponsored me a little bit, not nothing big, but and the owner one day was just like, "Hey, do you want this?" It's like, we really love this thing, but we have nowhere we can put it in here, and we don't want anybody messing it up. So could you just take this home with you? And I'm like, absolutely,
That
absolutely,
is awesome.
yeah. So, and it's and then the gun, I change the guns out constantly, and actually, I used to be known for really changing my background up a lot, but now I'm pretty much locked into this. I'm going to fine tune it a little bit, but
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's pretty good. So, and it works for both my normal debate show and then the gun show too. So, but yeah.
So, the reason we didn't have a show last week is I met up with listener Drew, and we went to the brewery game. Drew's one of those listeners that's been kind of with us since, good grief, almost day one. And so he he and I have gotten to be friends over the years from that, and we've met up a couple times. First time we've been trying to meet up for, got all the way back to 2015 Nashville NRA. We finally met up in Dallas, and we went to, he is a big baseball fan like I am, and so his goal is to go to all of the ballparks. He started a couple of years ago with the stuff on the West Coast. He's in San Diego. He's a big Padres fan. So we when we were down in Dallas, we went to Texas Rangers game, so he could mark that one off. And then last year we met up in Minnesota to go to a Twins Padres game, and then last Tuesday the Padres were in town playing the Brewers, so we went over to American Family Field and watched the game. So it was fun.
Cool.
I like baseball. I like to get out and watch baseball. So I'm one of those people that if it's a little league game, I'll sit and watch it. I just like baseball for baseball. So
yeah, fair enough.
But so I did that. I did some reloading. Kind of, I've been trying to, as you can see, it's just a giant disaster behind me. It's been a long process. My kid, I moved it in from the garage because my podcast studio used to be out in the garage in Wisconsin in January and February. That's no fun. So when my one son moved in with his girlfriend, I swiped the bedroom he had and moved everything in here and had it pretty organized. And then my other son moved out with his girlfriend. And so we were empty nesters for a while. Well, then the one son broke up with the girlfriend, and then once their lease was up, he was waiting for his one buddy to get done so they could move in together. So he moved in here for a couple months, and it was a quick thing. So I literally just packed everything up and shoved it into totes and stuffed it everywhere. And so now I'm trying to slowly reorganize it. So
sure.
But yeah,
I moved my reloading setup across country a couple of times, and it's never fun.
No.
So it's never cool to do that.
No, it's not. So. He's Nick's a big Millsrip guy.
I gathered that.
He and his dad have a YouTube channel that they do some stuff on.
Cool.
Although they both moved, they both escaped Illinois to Kansas City area, so they've both been kind of, the channels got put on hold, so they're working on getting that back up and running.
Sure.
But
It will probably be back. Hopefully, we're gonna probably start it up this summer, doing some stuff.
well, get on it, slacker.
Well, it'll probably be late this summer because Dad's travels crazy busy for work.
Yeah.
So
I thought he was retiring soon.
he actually said a couple weeks ago, 2 years.
Yeah, not bad.
2 years he'll fully retire. So he's already semi-retired, but
I got 3, but then I'm going to be a gunsmith full time. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I retired out, but I retired when I was 45, and
nice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a life for like 20 years, so
yeah.
And then I got out and I got into I have all of the hobbies now, all of them. So I didn't have any. Like
you've got a car you're working on then?
Sorry?
You got a car you're working on?
Kind of, but so my entire career was spent playing with cars, and so I decided that I only do that because I kind of enjoyed doing it. I joke that when I retired, I traded race cars for race guns, and I stopped doing motorsport stuff, and which is what my career was in, and then just switched over to like 3-gun, and I never really got into USPSA, but 3-gun was always really cool. And then and now I've got the motorcycles, I've got the boat, we go fishing all the time, all of it, all of the hobbies, because I just didn't have a hobby for 20 years. So
what did you do in motorsports?
So I owned eventually I ended up owning a race shop or a race team and a bunch of other shops, but I started out being the guy that didn't do anything, right? Like I showed up as a volunteer. That led to me working in a shop in North Carolina, and doing some other stuff, mostly with Porsche.
Okay.
And, so
GT3 stuff.
Yeah. Almost everything I did was in road racing.
Nice.
There was some other cool stuff along the way, but most of it was in road racing, and it was just all consuming. So I went from where I would like my college life, where I would goof off and I would go shoot some guns with buddies, and I would go hunting on the weekend, and I go to fishing with this friend, every so often, and all of that. I went and just had hobbies, to having like nothing. Like my entire world was focused in this very one kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
It's I said, until I got married, I hadn't had a vacation in like 10 or 15 years. And but when you think about it,
there's no off season.
Yeah. But when you think about it, a lot of people, the things I was doing were things that people do when they go on vacation. Right. And
right.
It's just, I was getting paid for it, and it was at most of the time at a higher level than I think most people were used to or would be used to wanting to play. But we did some good stuff. One of the teams, one of the shops I was with, our team won the Daytona 24 hours.
Nice.
21st, but first in AGT. And then we won multiple championships in Pirelli World Challenge.
Okay.
And then when I went out on my own, I did pretty well. Had a lot of stuff going on. And then at one point I had 60 people working for me and all of that. And they basically changed the rules of my series. And this is kind of a lot of things. I see the same things in shooting, right? So they changed the rules of my series. And once they did that, I had to make a decision whether I was going to spend a bunch of money, and I mean a bunch, like
millions.
Yeah, actually, it would have been about. We were going to end up having to spend somewhere between $2.5 to $5 million, and we wouldn't see a return for 3 to 5 years. right?
Yeah.
So we just spend all this money up front because you got to buy cars, you got to buy a new transporter, you got to have crew, you've got to have all this stuff. The first year you own the cars, you don't actually race them. You take them out, you take them all apart, you put them all back together, and you take them out and you run them around the track with a couple of different drivers and do some and maybe at the end of the first year that you own the car, you go out and do what's called a reconnaissance race where you see where you stack up, see how good the other guys are and how bad you are, or maybe how much you've tweaked the car a little too far and now you're faster than you want people to know you are.
Right.
And and it's just a whole game. And that we had already played, and we had cars, and we had a program, but they were ending it. The series was like, we don't want this anymore. And so my wife and I had a long talk about it. And as it happened at that moment in time, it would have hurt, but we could have swung redoing everything.
Right.
But we would have been just scraping for the next 5 years till it paid off. And my wife's like, you were going to retire in 5 years anyway. So why are you going to put yourself through this where you're going to end up having to work at least 5 years and probably 10 or 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be pissed about it the whole time. Like, why would you do that? And my wife's really smart. And I said, yeah, you know what? That's a great point. That's a great point. So I was already shooting a little bit, and so then the shooting just ramped up and everything else ramped up, and then I just got all the hobbies, just keep
Nice.
adding to them. So
yeah, my one of my best friends in high school, when he graduated, he went to work for Kelly Moss.
Oh, I know Kelly Moss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah, so he worked for Kelly Moss for 10 years, and literally that was his life. So I know exactly what you mean. It's like,
the money's good, you just never get to spend any of it.
Yeah, I think in a matter of 2 years, I think we saw each other twice.
Yeah, that's how that
and
works.
One of those was one of our friends' weddings. And that was it. So
yeah, I mean that's just how that works, right? I mean, I can name that tune in 2 notes, right? And
exactly.
So, yeah, but it's an interesting way to kind of get into all of this stuff, and now that, I mean, I'm getting back into shooting. As we were talking about earlier, I hurt myself back in 23. I tore up my knee and hip doing Hard as Hell Resurrection, and it took me about it took me about 6 months to admit that I was actually hurt, and then it took me another 3 months to actually go through the all of the physical therapy and everything, and then I was okay. But by that time, I had gained an additional like 20 pounds or 25 pounds. I ended up and I was already 20 pounds heavy, so I ended up. We went to Alaska about this time last year. My wife and my youngest son and I did, and I came off the boat. I was 245 pounds, as the heaviest I've ever weighed in my life. I was like, this is crazy. And so the minute I got back, I and because I understand now more than ever that, if you're going to run around and play with guns and things like that, if you can carry the weight for a long time, but at some point you're going to get hurt, and you're going to hurt more than if you're not carrying all of the extra weight around on you. And so I dropped 40 pounds, and I'm trying to keep it going. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. I shot Superstition Mountain Mystery 3 gun back in, as I was saying, back in March. And it was awesome. It was 160. I left here and it was like 60s, maybe 50. I got off the plane there and in the middle of the day, and it was 106 degrees. It was just like, this is crazy.
That's brutal.
And they said that it was like one of the hotter years that they had. And it was brutal, but it was a great match. The videos, the video came out really well. Um, and um, and then I shot the Texas 3-gun championship, put on by my friend Aaron Hayes. He's an awesome dude, and he he put together a tremendous match. I mean, the size of the facility is incredible. Like it's amazing how big this place is, and we had a 700-yard shot. So that was on
Good
the clock.
grief.
700-yard shot on the clock with your, I mean, and I'm shooting a 5.56 AR, right? I'm not shooting
Yeah.
anything exotic. It's not a 6 arc or anything like that. It's just like a standard old 5.56. And 700-yard shot is sporty. But I hit it. I had one round hit. One shot, one hit. So
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought it would take me at least 3, but I got it. And then now I'm going. Now I was, as I said, I'm going to shoot Battle of the South this weekend. Following weekend was going to be Zombies. That happens to be the same weekend that my son is shooting skeet for his school. So I have to do the dad thing, man.
Yeah.
Do the dad thing.
Yeah, I know how that goes, but thankfully mine are now 25 and out of the house. So
mine is 15. He'll be 16 in about 2 weeks. And yeah, and he's 6'1". And like he was 190. He might be 180 now. He's dropped a little bit of weight, and he's just ridiculous. He went from being a cool little kid to being like this dude, like in no time. It was and so he's but he's his school actually has a shotgun range on the campus.
That's a beautiful
skeet
thing.
Field, yeah, skeet and trap. So there, we were practicing right before I came back here. We were on campus, and I had to drive back really quickly to get here in time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's gonna. I give up my match so that I can be there for his, which is what
that is cool.
Yeah, but the whole reason I reached out to you guys was the last time I was here. There was somebody in chat talking about the economics of reloading, and and for me, right now it's kind of a wash. I don't know about anybody else, but it's kind of a wash. I prefer to reload my own ammo because I have a very specific pistol load.
Yeah.
That I use that is, it does everything I want it to do. So I prefer to do that. But I have but my guns are all tuned to where I could run 115 Blazer, 124 Blazer if I have to.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's nice to have that ability.
Yeah, I was at a match one time with this guy, and he was talking about how his the loads that he was using with his open gun were like 3 inches higher than his hand loads. I'm like, in a handgun? But apparently they really were like just changing the ammo changed the point of impact that much with a handgun. And I was like,
that's surprising.
Crazy.
Was he downloading his hand loads?
No, I think his hand loads were shooting super flat because it's an open gun. So he's probably shooting like 9 major.
Yeah.
And so they're probably like 1,200, 1,300 feet per second, 115s or 110s or something like that. And just a major power factor round. And I guess he just had, he had to buy some ammo, and it was just like a huge shift point of impact. And I don't want any of that.
No,
I don't want any of that. I want I want to be able to just use whatever I've got, so my guns have to operate. I can't have picky guns.
No.
What school is that? That is the Webb School. It is a private school.
There you go.
But
That's
yeah,
what I was figuring. Even though you're in Tennessee, it was probably still a private school. But
yeah. It would be really. I think so. My high school had a rifle range in the basement of the gymnasium.
Mm-hmm. There's still. Last I knew, there was still 15 high schools in Wisconsin that still have a rifle range that could be functional at any moment in the basements. So, we live in kind of a liberal city, but they actually started up it's still a club sport, but the high schools have a trap team and have for
that's been a big thing
8 years now. So
I've got a lot of the people that I shoot 3-gun with, or shoot pistol matches with, or whatever. They are going out on their own, and they're going into these high schools where they either their kids go or their, maybe their brother or sister's kids go, and they're starting shotgun sport teams. That seems to be the way to just kind of ease the schools into it. And I'm now trying to talk. So almost every school in my area has a team. We are, as far as I know, the only school that has a range on campus.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to talk to the other schools about, hey, now that you're okay with shotgun, let's pick up small bore rifle, or maybe pistol. Let's start looking into other things. And I haven't said no, but I'm in Tennessee, and it's kind of a kind of a different thing. But yeah, it's it's one of the trap and skeeter is one of the fastest growing sports for
nationwide. Yeah. I mean, definitely here in Wisconsin too. JT Schwingheimer just said trap's one of the fastest in high school sports in Minnesota. It's definitely here in Wisconsin too. So
all over the country, it's massive. It's so huge. SCTP, AIM, all of the organizations are doing such
ACA
a great
or
job.
ATA.
They're doing
my kid,
great
the club my kids or the group my kids were affiliated was SCTP. So
it was just starting to kick off big when I was in high school. My junior and senior year, it was starting to kick off big. We did it. I grew up in Illinois, so we didn't have shooting through the school, but with FFA, we would go and shoot. During one of the holidays, they would have a sporting clay shoot for all the southern half of the state. So we'd go shooting that. Then we'd go out and shoot trap every so often. But it really started getting big. Usually about 2 years once I got out of high school. I've been graduated, 12 years now. That's crazy to think about.
You guys remember Eddie the Eagle?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I wish he would come back.
We need Eddie the Eagle back. I mean, I literally, when I was at SHOT Show, I caught one of the NRA guys, and I'm like, I hear you guys doing great things, but I haven't heard a single word about Eddie the Eagle in school.
It's on Doug's list.
Yeah.
Because Gresham cornered him about it. One of the times when he was on Gresham's show. So it's on the list.
Yeah.
I want to see firearm safety training courses mandatory in all schools.
Tennessee has passed a law that says that all students in the Tennessee school systems from kindergarten to 12th grade, every single year they have mandatory firearms education.
Awesome.
It can be different for every year, right? So maybe when you're kindergarten, you don't take them to the range, but you show them a video, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's where Eddie the Eagle comes in perfect, is kindergarten, first, second.
Yeah.
By third grade, if you're in 4-H, you can go shoot air rifle.
I think so that's, and it's, they've done a really good thing here because it's not officiated by the schools.
Excellent.
It's being run by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Federation. So, the people who do the hunter safety course are now coming into schools and doing the firearm education. Now they're still figuring out what method to, because every grade's a little different, and obviously you don't want people falling asleep in the middle of it, but it is mandated, and it is the law now. So, and that was awesome. I couldn't wait for that. I was so afraid it was going to get killed, but and there's no opting out of it
here when they passed the mentoring laws. Once that passed, where they allowed 10-year-olds hunting with mentors, and actually then they removed the minimum age. We were hoping that would kind of spur on a drive to get firearm safety back into the schools, but unfortunately it hasn't.
Yeah. So I'm just glad to see that it is required. You can't opt out of it. You can't say that you're a conscientious objector and opt out of the safety training, or anything
awesome.
like that. The parents can't say no, not for my kid. There's none of that. So, I think it's a good step in the right direction, and I'm really glad to see it. So, yeah,
absolutely.
But for kind of getting back to the reloading and high volume ammo stuff, I shoot when I'm like right now, I'm shooting about. I shoot 4 times a week. Well, I shoot handgun 4 times a week if I can, and I shoot 200 rounds at least every time I go. So 800 to 1,000 rounds a week. That's expensive if I go buy it, right?
Right.
But I buy I tend to buy the bulk projectiles from Precision Delta, the 124 grain jacketed hollow point. They're great. They're super accurate. And I can buy them where it's like they're like $100, they're like $90 1,000 or something. They used to be 80. They've gone up a little bit. And I would buy 3,000 or 4,000 at a time and just stack. I just stack them, and I just run the press, and I'll sit down and I can run a week's worth of ammo in a couple of 3 hours, and then that's the end of that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Get ready for this weekend. But if I had to buy like boxed ammo, that would just be crazy. Even at $13, $12, $13 a box, still that's a lot. That's a lot. So I don't know. I think it's I think it's all a matter of perspective and a matter of what it doesn't seem like I save a lot, but at the end of the month, when I look at what I would have spent on boxed ammo versus building it, it is significant enough that
Which projectiles were those again?
The 124 grain jacketed hollow point.
From who?
Precision Delta.
Okay. I realized I didn't have the show notes up, so I always try and make show notes and stuff when people mention projects or products and stuff, so that way they can go look at them.
And I use a shotgun powder too.
Unique?
No, I use E3.
Okay.
From Alliance. It's super clean burning and it's super consistent. Soft.
Yeah.
Shoots really soft.
Yeah, Unique's
I'm sorry.
Unique's not clean.
Yeah, I know. Well, I tried I have pounds and pounds of the other one that everybody told me to get. And
Power pistol, probably.
Tight Group.
Oh, Tight Group.
And everybody told me that it was clean and it was soft, and it does shoot relatively soft, but it is not a clean powder.
Oh God,
it's dirty. It is so dirty. I load that in my old military revolvers. It is not clean at all.
It is not a clean powder. I mean, I guess it's clean as if you're used to 800X or high score or something like that. It's like, I guess it's a matter of perspective. But I was like, this is crazy.
Nothing's clean compared to black powder that I shoot in some cartridges. So.
Sure. Well, yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, there's always the next level of disgusting, right? Like wherever you're at, there's always another level. What press am I using? I've gone through a bunch of different presses. Right now, I've got the X10 from Frankfurt, and I love it. It's actually been it's been super good. Stand by.
Did you have any issues with the primer?
No, I don't. I haven't had any issues with it. One of my sons wants in. Come in. Stop knocking and open the door. It's probably my 5-year-old. Would you like to come in? Are you going to give that to Mom? Here, come here.
Where's Grandpa? Ooh.
Are you going to give this to Mom?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go give it to Mom.
Whoa. No, I'm gonna give it to Grandpa.
Okay, do that. Professionalism, folks. Sorry.
Hey, family's important.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, CFE pistol's really good too. John Lavalette. Clifford Zach, you're skeptical about that. I'm not really sure what, but
When we were talking about the mandatory
gun safety class, well, it's being administered by the TWRA, and so you have to at least be qualified through them. So, and they teach the hunter safety course.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's not any Tom, Dick, or Harry teaching the class. It's
not the sheriff's department. Okay.
Yeah.
So just calm down. But
So.
yeah. High score. I hadn't thought about, and I forgot about power pistol. I probably still have some power pistol out there. I tried CFE pistol, but I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I'm not a big CFE powder fan. I've not had any good luck with even CFE 223 as a standard 223
CFE
powder.
223. I love it. I love it so much.
I have not gotten good consistent loads with mine for some reason.
Oh, brother. I
use 335, so that's my go-to powder for 5.56 223. I use 2 powders in 5.56 223, and that is I use 80 now I can't think of it. It's the XBR the gold
80,
label XBR. Huh? Yep, 8208 XBR, and for 70 and I use that for 75 and 73 grain bullets, and then I use CFE for 55 grain and I've used it for some 75 grain stuff too, and I used to use tack a lot, but I've stopped using tack. I still have a lot of tack, but I probably should kind of get rid of it. But the problem with CFE is it's where it's really good. It's a very narrow range of being good,
right?
And it goes from being really, really good and really, really accurate and really, really consistent to blowing up, and because it in a 223 case, at least, it's basically a compressed load to get really good accuracy out of it. And I'm not telling anybody to do that, by the way. Don't do that. That's bad.
We have a disclaimer. So,
but I have found it to be
air at the end of or at the beginning of every audio podcast. So,
good.
Yeah.
I am not telling you guys to do anything, but
no,
because I do a lot of things that people consider fairly non-standard, like E3 for my.
Paul Nelson in the chat was a host for a long time. Till health reasons caused him to step away. Now he just joins us when he can for chat, but he has some spicy loads too. So we've definitely talked about the don't load what I load what the book says load.
Yeah, I'm not giving you any numbers here. But I'm going to tell you that
we do not give out loads unless it's out of a book.
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely.
I ended up even with 8208 XBR, I'm decently far above the recommended lifts, and it's no signs of anything. It's just a great load. I'm hitting out.
That's most books you got to look at. Most books with the load data you see, they're super conservative in any way.
Yeah. But I do. So, and I load for an accuracy node. And so I use RL17 in my 300 Winchester short mag. Ooh. And that's a great powder. Super consistent, meters well, does everything I want it to do.
Most of the RLs are pretty good.
Yeah. And the only and I have a load for my for a 208 grain boat tail hollow point match. in the 300 Wisdom that is 3,007 feet per second.
Nice.
That's burning that 208 grain bullet through that barrel, and it's not it's not unpleasant, but it's not the most pleasant gun I have to shoot. But it's so accurate at that load, at that with this load. I just can't let it go. I know that I'm going to need a barrel in like 400 more rounds, but it's cost of doing business, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so,
I mean, you shoot competition, that, especially if you're, loading spicier loads, you're going to wind up going through barrels. It's the cost. Yeah. It's just like you said, the cost of doing business.
The barrel's the cheapest part of the system.
Absolutely.
So,
so Raggle Fraggle asked, he said, what is it about the CFE stuff?
Yeah.
So the big thing with the CFE stuff is it is supposed to mitigate copper fouling.
Yeah. And it does to some degree.
So I don't know. I've not ever used any of the CFE powders.
CFE 223, I've used a ton of. I still use it. It's great. Meters well, and all the powder measures and tricklers I've used. It has once you find an accuracy node for your gun, you can just stay there and it'll be just ridiculously consistent.
That's nice.
It's relatively clean. I think a lot of people have problems with it because they're coming over from like Varget, and if you're trying, and they're just such different powders that I especially if you're kind of new to reloading, or if you just are really set in your ways and you've only ever. And I literally know people have been reloading for 10 or 15 years that only have loaded 3 loads. Like that's it. That's all they do is like they have their 9mm load, they have their 38 super load, and they have their 308 or 5.56 load. And that's it. They don't load anything else. They're just, and they have 5 bins of powder. They have the powder they tried first, the powder they tried second, and 2 more. And then that's it. And then everything else is all one powder, right? And it's like, and if you ask them, they're like, well, this is what I use. And you'll be like, well, have you tried this? No. And I just use it. And I'm like, but why not? And
I know people like that. And it's like, okay, you do you then.
Yeah. So. Well, the guys on Brian Eno's forum told me that this was the way to go. I'm like, well, I mean, did they shoot your gun? Because I don't know. Is it? And subsonic. I think CFE 300 CFE black, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah.
The 300 black powder, I think, is pretty good with sub loads. The problem is that most of the bullets that people are trying to run subsonic through the 300 black are garbage, or not garbage, but they don't work with the barrel twist. It's a whole thing, guys. You can't just do one thing. It's got to be the whole thing.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. You're trying to run trying to run a fast a bullet that needs to go through a fast twist and a slow twist barrel, and now you're slowing it down instead of speeding it up.
Yeah, and
it makes it even worse.
And you're wondering why you get 8-inch groups. Like you're like, why is it this gun something's wrong here? Like, no, it's nothing's wrong. You're shooting a pistol and you're trying to make it act like a rifle. So
one of my favorite conversations I ever had with somebody is I worked at Cabela's Bass Pro and the gun counter in the gun library for 5.5 years. Yeah, the discount was great. That was the whole entire purpose of working there.
Sure it was. I'm sure.
I really kind of want to go back because the discount's amazing. Anything Bass Pro or Cabela's branded or any of their various brands. 50% off.
Oh.
So all of their clothing and all their camping crap and everything else, all the fishing tackle and everything. The only thing you really don't get a discount on is guns and ammo.
Mm-hmm.
But they have an expert voice program where you get a bunch of stuff on that. So.
Oh, nice.
But I was having a conversation. A guy was bitching about his Remington 223 rifle, and he said it's the biggest piece of garbage I've ever owned.
Bold claim.
And I'm like, Do tell. And he goes, well, I was out shooting and it was keyholing. And I'm like, he was one of those people that I'd been talking to for 3 minutes and did not seem to come across to have the knowledge that he would understand the word keyholing. And I said, so tell me more. And he said, yeah. So we were out at the range shooting it, and it wasn't grouping, and I was seeing these big marks in the target, and one of the other guys that was there said that's keyholing. And I said, well, what were you shooting? And he goes, oh, I was shooting a 73 grain 223 out of a Remington 700, which is a 1 in 12 twist.
That's bold. It's a bold strategy.
Didn't work out for him. I said, well, there's your problem. I said, unless you're hand loading and you're loading them really, really hot, you're not going to ever get a 73 grain to stabilize out of that bullet, out of that barrel. That barrel is designed for a max of 55 grain. Even the military 62 grain won't stabilize out of that. He goes, really?
There were some 62, but it's you got a very thin margin of the 62s that'll work in a 223 chamber.
The best one the best one that I had go on was I had a friend of mine we both had almost the same 300 black. I have a 16-inch barrel and he had like a 10.5 or something. And I tried these 115 grain Hornady varmint bullets. They sucked. They weren't long enough, and so they didn't stabilize. There wasn't enough ogive there, and so it just didn't stabilize ever. I don't know what they shoot those out of, but it's got to be like a lever gun or something. It's got to be like a Henry rifle or something like that. Because it's
no, actually, the 115 grains work great out of a 1 in 10 twist 308.
Huh.
If you're driving them, because I know, because I could get them to shoot. I had a coyote load I made up.
Okay.
Using the 115 grains, and
fair enough. Yeah.
I was
pushing really short bullets.
I don't remember what I was pushing them fast. Now, if you got the 110s, the 110 round nose, those are all for the 30 carbines.
Yeah, these were the V-tip bullets, and so I never could get them to work. And I told him I could never get them to work, and they were never going to work. And he loaded up, I don't know, probably 300 or 400 one time. And I'm like, I wouldn't do that. That sounds like a lot of
bullet pulling.
And he went out and shot it, and he's like, it's like minute of pie plate. Like he's like, what is going on? And he thought that he was blaming the muzzle brake. He was blaming everything on, how, and he thought he had a bad barrel and all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, let's try one of mine in it. Maybe you're just not putting enough powder in it. I don't know. Let's just try one of mine. Same thing. And I started looking at it and I'm like, you're never going to get this. Mine don't shoot well. Yours are never going to shoot well, because he had like an 11.5-inch barrel with like a 1 in 7 twist or something like that. I'm like, you're never going to get this to shoot right. And he's like, why not? And I'm like, because it's not even making a full turn before it gets out of the barrel.
Right.
And it doesn't even have any lands there. I'm like, this is not
not in a short barrel. Not a chance.
It's just not going to work.
The 16-inch, if you're pushing it fast enough, you might. But
and then he was trying to run the Nosler Partition 200, and it's not 208, it's like a 205 or 2. I forget what the Nosler is, but the 200 grain Nosler out of the same gun, the subsonic, and they didn't shoot very well either. But that was just because anything over like 100 yards, and it's just starting to yaw through space and time. And it's weird how people don't understand ballistics, even after they read it in the loading manual, even when they go to Sniper's Hide and they read all of these threads about what loads to use. They go to Brian Enos, they do the same thing, and then they're like, yeah, I don't understand why this load won't shoot. Me neither. I don't understand either. I know nothing. I'm a mushroom. Leave me alone. I'm gonna go shoot.
Exactly.
So,
I am a mushroom kept in the dark, fed full of bullshit.
yeah, but it was. I find that very interesting. It's got to be very. I feel bad for a lot of the employees in gun shops and
Oh yeah,
help desks because they've got to get the most ridiculous questions over and over and over and over again. So,
I worked in gun shops for 10 years.
yeah.
I've
Ken
had enough.
worked with me at Bass Pro for a little while, and then he got smart and got out. So
yeah, it seems like
it is a thankless job.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I mean, you get your decent customers, you get your regulars and stuff, but
It's I miss it, but I don't miss it at the same time.
I'm triggering your Raggle Fraggle guy saying Nosler.
Yeah. Oh. He's one of our regulars. He also listens to a lot of the We Like Shooting guys and a bunch of the other podcasts in the network. So
yeah,
I feel more. I tend to feel more sorry for those people who go into a gun store and assume that the person behind the counter knows what they're talking about.
that too.
Because some of the dumbest people out there in the gun industry are standing behind the counters. Not all of them.
True.
There's some good people behind some of those counters, but.
Well, I got caught. I was at the gun shop the other day on Saturday, wasting some time before meeting up with a buddy for lunch. And it's one of my normal shops I go into, and both the guys behind the counter were busy. And of course, they know me super well, so I was like, "Hey, Houston, I'm coming behind the counter." It was just that intuition to go help a guy. It's like I have a disease almost of doing this, but it just some of the people are the dumbest people. Like you said, Ken. It's like I know more than you. I don't need your help.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I used to help at my local gun store. Kind of. I taught a youth 22 class on Wednesday nights, and for mostly it was competition oriented. It was like how all the range commands and how to holster, unholster, all that kind of stuff, and various things. And so I got to know those guys really good, and they they were always asked, "Do you want to work here? Do you want to work here? Do you want to work here?" I'm like, "No." Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So fortunately, my local gun store, they hire only people that know about guns, and they actually teach them about guns when they come, new stuff that comes through and whatnot.
Nice.
The Sportsman's Warehouse in my town, a few of those guys have an idea, not quite a clue. It's not fully formed into a clue. It's just an idea. But they mean well.
Yeah.
If you know what if you know what you want and you go in there, they can find it for you and maybe they'll get you some help. But beyond that, I found most gun store and most department, and I consider Bass Pro, Shields, and Sportsman's all department stores. I just never had any luck, man. Never.
Mm-mm.
It's I mean, finding somebody that knows what they're talking about is like the rarest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I ran a gun department. Yeah, I ran a gun department for 5 years at one of the shops I worked at. And when we would hire a guy that I could tell he knew a little bit about, he knew guns, that was the biggest thing, but he didn't know specific things about different models. What I would do is I would tell, hey, take the Smith & Wesson M&P line one night when you're at home, pull up YouTube, pull up something, and learn about them. It's the best way to think. If you can learn about that product line, just when somebody comes in and you can sell them on that item, the more you know, the better. And I would say if you can do that once a week, at least pick up one, you're going to have most of this counter figured out. Within a month and a half, 2 months, you'll have most of these guns figured out that you'll have no problem with the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great strategy. I think the hardest thing is probably just that. I mean, these are relatively low paying jobs for kids in college, and
absolutely
and they just flow through so quickly, and so they, before they even really know anything, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the one I worked at were actually a lot of older guys.
Really?
Guys that were
I would love to see
retired-
that come back.
retired from a full-time job, but they wanted
Mhm.
that nice extra
Yeah.
income. And I worked at, because I was full-time as department head, but when I took a different full-time job working for a state agency, I stayed on there part-time just to
Mm.
help out.
Mhm.
And even then I would go into work at the state, but then I would go there right after and work till close most nights.
Mhm.
I would have one or so guys in every so often learning from me how to sell and how to properly look for a straw purchase. Because when you've been in the gun industry long enough, you know instantly that kicks, and you can tell that's a straw purchase.
Yeah. Have you seen the new 4473? Have you guys been watching?
I
all the press run?
love it.
I have.
I love the new
I
4473.
love, so
Yeah.
before Gander Mountain became an RV dealership,
Yep.
my wife, who we'd only been married, I think 2 or 3 years at that point, but she knew I love guns. I'm all about guns. Everything's great. So she goes into Gander Mountain to purchase a pistol that she knew I wanted for I think it was my birthday or maybe Christmas or whatever. And she made the mistake of telling the guy behind the counter. And so he's like, "Ma'am, I can't do that. It's a straw purchase." Well, I had already told her, I'm like, "Look, if you ever want to buy me a gun, it's totally legal. I'm not a felon. You know
Mhm.
that I'm not a felon. You can totally do it. It's totally fine." But I should have told her 99% of the people behind the counter don't know that. They've got
Nope.
no damn clue. And they never read the whole thing through to get the clue, right? They just, all they've been told is what they've been told is, straw purchase, and it's and I'm glad that they clarified that, because I know a lot of people who are, a lot of like families that'll probably, whoa, somebody dropped.
Ken did.
There'd be a lot of people out there that will no longer be afraid to purchase their spouse or children firearms.
Yeah, they made it super simplified, super easy to read and now understand.
It is. It's
got rid of all the stupid questions.
Yeah, that you need to be a lawyer for.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, and the biggest thing I think is they took the firearms information off the front page.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
I just think
when they did
great.
that was an easy register.
Long overdue. It was just, and
Mm-hmm.
it's such a great thing to see happen. I'm really excited about it.
There's all sorts of stuff. The engraving portion. I'm excited to see go through a lot of the other stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely. Nice changes.
Yeah. What do you think about the and they're kind of cagey about this. They're saying if your state allows it, but which I don't know why they wouldn't. But so here in Tennessee, if I own a gun and Nick buys it, he lives in Tennessee. I don't think he does, but if he lived in Tennessee and he bought that gun from me, and I was in Nashville and he's in Knoxville, as soon as the money cleared my account, that's his gun, and I could ship it to him legally. It's legal.
Mm-hmm.
No different than if we'd been in a parking lot at Home Depot where I buy most of my guns, and I hand him cash, and so the 4473 now is allowing gun shops to do the same thing. I mean, now, obviously, you're buying from a dealer, so you have to go. You still have to file they have to have your ID and everything, right? They still have to run the NICS because they're a dealer. But yeah, retail guns shipped to your homes. What a concept!
Yep. Yeah, they're working on making it so, because there's so many other things that are done legally completely.
Yep.
Over the internet. And so I guess they're making it so the anti-gunners, worst nightmare is coming true. You can buy a gun over the internet.
Yeah. Well, I still am shocked that people don't know that they can mail. Most states, you can mail a gun in the state.
Yeah. Wisconsin, you
don't know that.
Yep.
Now, the other thing they're going after, and I think this is more DOJ, is the post office now not mailing handguns.
Yes. And the post office
that's in the registry right now.
When you want to mail anything to do with firearms.
Oh yeah, that's why the last couple of things I've sent, it's like, these are spare machine parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mailed and it's been a while, but I mailed myself a rifle, right? And
right,
you can do that. It's totally legal.
absolutely.
And I went down there and I actually made the mistake of telling them that it was a firearm. And we can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can. Here's where it says that. And the lady, I kid you not, the lady literally told me I could have just printed that up at home. And she did not believe me. I said, okay, go get me the postmaster. Bring him out here or her out here.
Mhm.
And I will talk to them because they need to talk to you. Like, and of course they pulled the federal employee harassment thing and, threatened to call the police and everything. I was causing a scene. And I said, you can do whatever you want, but go get the postmaster first.
Yeah.
You can call whoever you want.
Right.
But I'm really shocked at how
Did you end up getting to mail it, or did they fight you?
Yeah. The postmaster came out and was like, "What's he doing? He's mailing it to himself from here in Tennessee to Utah. Is it a firearm? Yeah. Is it a long gun? Yeah. Okay. What's the problem? What's the question?" And the lady was just like, and the guy's like, the postmaster's like, "Yeah, we do that. That's what we do. That's our job."
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be marked. The problem is that you can't have it in a marked box. It can't have Remington on it. Nothing. It's gonna be a plain box. So,
yeah.
But once you understand the law, like if I have to go read the law so that I can do it, I want the people who are there getting paid to perform the service to know the law better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Or even if they don't know what that law is specifically, because there's a lot of laws that people in the post office have to do. But if instead of saying you can't do that, they should know. Okay, I'm not sure if you can do that. Let me talk to my supervisor. Let me talk to to somebody who actually does know, so we can because it's customers. They so many businesses do not remember that it's customer service, and a lot of the simple things go a long ways.
I mean, frequently customers are wrong, right?
Well, and they can be, but you still,
There's a lady who's done it, and I wasn't really. I laugh and joke about it now, but in the moment, I was. There were two things. I was really concerned that this woman was going to call the police, and I was going to have guns drawn on me. Because she would have. The only two things that she would have told them is a man has a gun in the post office. Right, like that's what I was. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, what's going to happen is I'm going to be on the news.
Yeah,
I'm going to be on the news. I'm going to be honest with you, and I was really trying to just stand my ground and say, no, I have it printed. I printed it out for this reason, and I learned that from the airlines because I fly with guns to matches all the time.
Oh, airlines are horrible.
I had to make a video about how to properly fly with all of my guns for a three gun match, and it's easy. It's easy if you know how to do it.
Once you get the employee to understand what the rules are. Well,
the key right now is just fly Southwest.
Yeah,
they apparently actually train their employees how to deal with firearms.
Nice.
I've had problems with Delta. I've had problems with American. And I mean, like I literally made like a 30-minute video about this is how you fly with guns. And it's a great video, but
J. Lease Williams did one of those not too long ago.
Who's that?
As well? Yeah, J. Lease Williams.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Justine.
Yeah.
J. Lease. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I know those guys, girls.
Yeah, I last time I flew with one, I had my own locks on there, and the person's like, "You can't have that." I said,
"Oh my god!"
I pulled out $100 bill out of my wallet. I set it on the counter. I said, "Would you like to bet this $100 bill that I'm right and you're wrong?"
Yeah, I've been told that too.
They went. So yeah, anybody ever asks me, it's well, what? Because a lot of people think I have a lot of knowledge. I have some knowledge, but I get that question a lot. What about if you want to fly with guns? So first off, you do not use a TSA approved lock. You get your own personal padlocks. Right. If they want to open that firearm case, they have to come get you.
Yeah, you by law, you are supposed to be there and watch them do it.
Yep.
That's and the shockingly, TSA are not sworn officers.
No, they're not.
So they cannot receive your weapon. And which means that, so let's just say that I'm going to pick on Nick again. Nick is flying from wherever to wherever, and TSA doesn't like something in his gun case. He's left, he was out shooting and a couple of rounds came loose and they're down in the lining. He didn't see it. They see it on X-ray. Now they want him to come. They want to ask him some questions about it. And they will often say, give me the keys and stand over there.
Nope.
No, sir, I can't do that. By law, you have to open this in my eyesight. Like I have to watch you do it. They'll usually back up then. If there's a problem and like maybe, I don't know what kind of problem you'd have with a properly checked firearm, but maybe, just for example, maybe he made a mistake and instead of a 1903 Springfield, he actually grabbed a Browning BAR and he doesn't have any of the NFA paperwork to take his BAR on the plane. And somehow the TSA guy noticed that this is a fully automatic weapon, which they will never do that. They don't know. They really don't. I got a great story about that in a second. But let's say that, and they're like, hey, we're going to seize this item. They can't. You really need to tell them, I understand you want to seize this item. I know I'm now going to miss my flight. You need to call a law enforcement officer here now. If they say they are a law enforcement officer, you say very politely, no, sir. No, ma'am. You are not. I need a law enforcement officer here. Now, it can be airport police. Usually they'll get airport police, and that's fine. But yeah, you can't you get in trouble, by the way, not TSA. If you surrender a weapon to them, that's an illegal transfer. If a lawyer, if the prosecutor really wants to go after you, that's an illegal transfer. Especially if it's like a full auto thing. So I was out shooting one time in a state that I won't mention, and with some buddies, and I was shooting suppressed a lot, and I took the suppressor off at one point, and I put it in. I have a pocket in this specific backpack where the suppressor fits very neatly, and it's a nice place to keep your suppressor while you're just shooting the gun normally. And we shoot 2 or 3 days. I pack up, drive to the airport. Everything's great. Check the guns. They go down the conveyor belt. I'm going through security, and they pull my bag. That's like a 1 in 10 thing for me. 1 in 8, where they're going to pull my bag and they're just going to, they found something they didn't want to see. And the guy just like searching through it, and he holds up the suppressor and he's like, "What is this?" And what I should have said was, "That's a muffler for a mini bike, and it's really expensive, and please put it back." That's what I should have said. I should have lied. Mm-hmm. I should have committed a felony on a grand scale. But I didn't. I was honest. I said, "Holy crap, that's a suppressor. What's that doing in there?" I'm like, how did that get there? Oh, and then I realized that I had taken it off like 3 days before, and I just forgot. It's buried in this backpack. And that caused a whole line of nonsense. And it was exciting for like 30 minutes or so.
Because it was supposed to be in with your firearms, right?
Yeah, it would have been fine if it had been in the case, but they wouldn't let me put it in the case because I was going through security. Now I've attempted to carry a firearm through security, and they get really testy about that. So then they got really testy when I said that I wasn't leaving. They were going to seize the suppressor, and basically they were going to write me a ticket. I was going to fly home. The suppressor would have stayed there, and place I won't mention, like Oklahoma City or anything. And it would have stayed there. And then at some point they would decide whether they were going to prosecute me or whether they're going to give it back. And this is where the problem came in, is because I'm like, "No, sir, first of all, you shouldn't even be holding that, because you need to understand the NFA laws that are in play here.
Yeah.
It needs to be in my possession. You can arrest me, but I mean, you can't. You can go get a cop. He can arrest me. And they said, we're going to put it in this box and we're going to put it over here. And I'm like, no, can't do that. That gets me in trouble. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You need to call a law enforcement officer down here right now. So they got airport police down there. They were completely confused. No idea what to do. So they end up, I don't know who showed up next, but they were some form of suit cop. So either a Fed or I don't know. That guy actually had the proper idea, and he said, "Look, what we're gonna have to do here is I'm gonna sign for this, take it into custody. This is now not an illegal transfer, right? He's a law enforcement officer. He can do that, and with a federal law enforcement officer. And then it needed to go to and then they figured out that he phoned a friend or got his phone out and did some research. Then he figured out he really needed the ATF there. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Yeah. So now I got a whole string of law enforcement officers. and it's a great time. And so it took about 3 hours. Of course, I missed my flight. It took about 3 hours to get everything sorted out. It ended up with me flying home. The suppressor stayed in lockup, I assume. And about 8 weeks later, probably, I get basically a form mail from the TSA saying that I have violated federal law by attempting to board a plane with a firearm, and that I could either go to court and fight over it, which would cost X amount of money. They listed like all of the money and all the time. You know, this is going to be a really big deal. Or I could pay them like $800. Take an $800 ticket and go collect my property. I paid the $800 ticket. I flew to Oklahoma City. I got my property. I put it I checked it, and I flew home. This is your federal government at work, people. This is how this works. And I'm leaving out I know I'm leaving out wide swaths of it, because it taught me a lot about, because I know a bunch of agents and stuff, and they all seem like sharp people, but this was exciting.
Yeah, not fun.
But I should have said it was a muffler.
Yep.
It's a muffler for a go-kart. My kid's gonna love it. And he would have totally bought it.
Yeah.
It looks like a muffler.
Technically, it's a muffler.
It is, and it is in fact a muffler. And with the right adapters, it will fit on a go-kart.
That's right.
But I didn't. I mean, I joke about it a little bit, but I totally regret not having just been a devious person, because it was just such a hassle. So, and now of course they're shipping suppressors all over the country now, because
crazy, straight to your door. Who would ever have thought we'd see that day?
Right.
And now it's at least in Tennessee. So Tennessee decriminalized suppressors a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And I don't know that anybody here really takes any of that seriously anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's an interesting deal. Firearms right now is I feel like at the federal level, they finally realize they're never going to get an assault weapons ban through. They'll never get half the things they want. All they do is they talk about it to energize their base, and that's it.
Fundraising.
And then fundraising. It puts butts in seats, as they say.
Yep.
And then I think on the state level, you're seeing such a problem. You're seeing so many problems for these leftist and anti-gun politicians, because when it was just rhetoric, they could spin stuff, but now just we have, and thankfully, due to them, God bless them, the left in this country has made a job of of literally collecting every little fact, every little detail about firearms.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it supports our arguments.
Absolutely.
and we're bludgeoning. We finally have people that are bludgeoning them about the head with it, right? Like, and the Supreme Court is just like killing. They've been killing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's.
Did you see what DOJ did to Colorado?
No.
Mm-hmm.
They sued them about the magazine ban.
Uh-huh.
But they didn't say that they went after it in a civil rights capacity.
Oh.
Colorado is violating their citizens' civil rights because of that magazine ban.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Somebody in Washington is finally thinking.
I mean, it's been great. I mean, obviously I'm pro pretty much all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, I think we're in a golden age of many things right now. And a lot of it stems from what happened during COVID and after that, the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Man, it's great. Like I talked to when I was at SHOT Show, I talked to the guy at Wolf, and I'm like, hey, I love your small rifle primers. They're like some of the most consistent small rifle primers ever. I'm out of them now because, I bought so many, but they haven't been on the market in like 6 years, 7 years, something like that. And he's like, yeah, we're thinking about bringing them back. Like we think we can get them back in the country now. And I'm like,
that's another thing that just got on the new rules. I don't know if anybody caught that, all the importation stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're completely reviewing that. So I'm loving that on the surplus side.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Potentially opening
for sure.
surplus.
There's
a lot of those in those countries.
Just think if Norinco could come back in.
Oh,
man,
gosh.
If Norinco's could come back in, I would be like, I actually really love the Norinco 45 1911 as a base for building other guns.
Yeah.
It's a heavy gun, but it works perfect for that, though.
Yeah.
Norinco M1 receivers.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a Norinco SKS back when I was in college. I paid $89 for it.
There's one right there.
And
I got 2 in the vault.
I can't understand. I mean, I just saw one sell for like $400. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I literally pulled it out of the Cosmoline, out of the crate for $89.
I've had offers of up to $550 for mine. Wow. Now it was my brother-in-law's and he passed away, so it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like a golden age, man. It's like, the only question is if the gun industry is going to work for the shooters, for the public, or if it's going to work against us.
Yep.
Because and I asked the question 2 weeks ago when I was in the chat about, do you believe this lead thing, the lead shortage, right, or copper shortage? And and at my local gun store, I walked in. It's a pretty smart guy. He owns gun stores in several states, and he's like all about this copper shortage that's driving the prices up so high and blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, I don't believe that. We're recycling so much of the copper. I mean,
the problem is
we have copper mines.
But the problem is copper, most of the metals are imported.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue. It's not all mined here anymore. It's all coming in.
Yeah.
And so,
But
you
that's
know,
because
anytime
we
you
don't
get an
allow it to be mined.
so
This gets into the show to my big channel where I do a lot of debates and political stuff and a lot of I report current events and things like that. And it's interesting because, and I just had this conversation earlier today with a bunch of people about how just because we buy stuff from other countries doesn't mean we don't have it.
Right.
And it was it's cheaper in a lot of cases. If it's and it bypasses a lot of the laws that we have here in the United States as far as how it's made, how it's processed, how it's dug out of the ground.
Yep.
And why wouldn't we? Why do we want to tear up our country and use up our resources when you are happy to tear up yours and sell it to us? Like, and so that's where a lot of this comes from because, and I saw this back a few months ago, that they had the silver went through the roof and then it dropped and then, it's like everybody's going crazy about silver, and the same thing with copper. And my buddy was like, oh, they closed all the silver mines. Oh, they closed the copper mines and all this stuff's going to be crazy. And I'm like, yeah, if we close a mine here, it's because either the EPA wants it closed or it's because it's just not, it's cheaper to just buy things elsewhere. Right. Like and that's how that is how our businesses tend to think.
Yeah.
They would rather buy it from Australia. Like we buy uranium from Australia. And this talking to a guy today, and he's like, why are you buying uranium from us? You guys must not have any. And I'm like, no, you got a ton of uranium. What are you talking about? I think half of Arizona is uranium, like irradiated. What are you talking about? But we just don't want to go get it. It's cheaper for us to buy it from you. Like, why would we not do that? And
right.
And we still have ours, right? Like, and you don't have yours anymore because we bought it. So
I saw a documentary a few weeks back, and it was they were talking about the rare earth metals, various ones, right? And rare earth metals are very, very common. Oddly enough, it's just finding them in concentrated enough amounts where you can actually utilize it, right? Make a profit, right? I mean, you could probably find a lot of the rare earth metals in your backyard, but the 0.2000 whatever grams you're going to find, it's just not worth it. But what they're looking at is some of these older mines that have essentially become essentially acid lakes because there's all all the stuff, the mining stuff that kind of got left into it, and the groundwater seeps in, comes back, fills it up. What they're doing is they're studying actually being able to, because a lot of those rare earth metals get processed out of the ground and into that water. And if they can find them in big enough quantities and be able to extract them from the water, it cuts out like the first two steps of processing, which is the most expensive portion of refining these. So it could be, I mean, it really could be the next big boom. Is these companies that are going back into old mines that essentially are they've got cannons setting off on the side that if birds land on it, they shoot them off to scare the bird away, because if the bird spends more than a few minutes sitting on that lake, it's probably going to die. So it was kind of cool that they were going back and it was, I'm trying to remember where the mine was, but it's one of the most toxic lakes in the U.S. right now. And they're hoping to be able to pull all these rare earth metals out of it, which basically, I mean, it was massive amounts of wealth was generated off that, and could do the same thing again with that. And in the process, clean up this body of water that, does need to be cleaned. Somebody needs to, something needs to happen, because if birds can't land on it for any period of time, then we should probably find a way of at least filtering that out of the water.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that stuff going on. I mean, we go back into old mines all the time because, and I was actually watching a thing on this mining town in California that has been bust like 4 times. They went in, it had a lot of silver, they mined all the silver out, or the silver got it cost too much to get the silver out, so they quit mining it. Then they went in, they found copper, so they mined that out. And then there was, I forget what the second and third things were, but it was just like they would just keep finding these things. I think it was zinc after that. It was, or something. And it was just like, and now they're looking at finding other some of the rare earth minerals that they didn't even know existed, and it's all in the tailings. Like it's already been dug out. It's like it's just laying there on the ground. But
yeah, and all you need is a couple of trucks, front end loader, and a processing unit to redo it.
Yeah, and it's but again, it becomes an idea of what the cost is, right? So and with everything in the U.S. is constantly all about what's this going to cost me, right? And so if it's cheaper to buy it from Lithuania or Australia or Kenya or wherever it is, that's what we're going to do. It's just the way it works. And that's why we prop up the entire world's economy. You just can't argue about it. But anyway, that's not gun talk. That's
it's kind of adjacent.
Yeah, it is kind of adjacent. It's funny.
Our
Somebody over
listeners
my
have
chat.
also come to understand that we talk about more than just reloading here. So
Yeah,
we kind of changed a few weeks ago. We kind of changed the focus a little bit. So
cool.
It's not the primary focus is still reloading, but we're definitely going to be going off in other areas. And
yeah,
because I mean we've been doing this
in my
12 years.
chat. Mullet Baby says, I talk mines, gold, and silver, and Massey loses his primary coincidence. No, it's not coincidence. It's Trump. Trump endorsed the other guy, and Massey didn't win. So it's
that's not a shock. Everybody knew that was coming.
I mean, I felt like everybody knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But apparently, not everybody did. They were like, oh wow, this is really crazy. So, but yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you want to when you push hard to release the findings that most of Congress doesn't want released. They figure out a way to get you out of there. So,
I think with Massey, it was more than that. I like Massey a lot too. He's just, I don't think it's the files or anything. I think there's more to it, but
oh yeah, he couldn't, one of those things where he couldn't be controlled. So.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I like,
as long as Brandon
I kind of wish
wins,
he had one, but that's fine. I'm just glad that we were able to finally get some of the gerrymandering undone. So
yeah,
I mean, it's just fine. I mean, and here in Tennessee, you may have seen one of the representatives yelling at the state troopers, which is certainly absolutely the most professional thing that they could have done. And he did that because he'll never get elected again.
No,
because once they took race out of the way the districts were configured and rezoned them, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I love Wesley Hunt's answer to the whole thing. Have you ever had a chance to hear that one yet? He answered, I'm not here for color my skin. I'm here representing the constituents in my district who voted for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter my color my skin.
I'm here to
represent
them, man. Or Freitas, however you say his name. Freitas? I don't know. I don't know how you say his name.
I think you had it right. One of those. There's some of those names that are just hard to answer.
Yeah. Well, he's a cool dude, though. He's a cool dude.
Yep.
I really like his takes on a lot of things, and
all I know is we will have one, knock on wood, get elected, and he will be very pro 2A, and we don't have to worry about anything with him. That's Brandon Herrera for sure.
Yep. So.
Yeah, Gerald's right about the old mines too. He lives in the black gold area of Western PA. Yeah, that's true. We work
with a lot of mines.
I think
company
You
I
know,
work
Americans
for.
have a. Oh, I'm sorry. Talk over.
You're good. Go ahead.
Americans are so weird and probably because it's such a large country that most people can't fathom how big America actually is. And so it's weird that when people think of oil, they think of Texas, but West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky all have a lot of oil. Now they don't pump a lot of it anymore because why? Right?
Yeah.
We're buying it from other people.
Be nice if they'd start for a little while here.
You know,
prices back down, but
I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a old pilot. This guy was probably there to pat the Wright brothers on the back, and he's just super cool guy. And he was talking about how when he was a youngster, they had natural gas wells on his property, still do on his property, and he said they had what was called drip gas, which is the when they pull the natural gas out, all of the heavy bits, including water and oil and gas and all of that, drop to the bottom, and then they have just a really nasty refining process, which is not even real refining, to separate the gasoline from the oil. And sometimes they don't even bother doing that. And then they used to run their farm equipment on it, run the planes on it, run everything, and it was free. It was just come out of the ground, and they sold the natural gas off and everything. So, I mean, I think it's great. I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's true. There's gas all throughout on the Northeast coast, like all over. We just don't bother to drill for it. You imagine the arrogance of a country saying that. We just don't bother.
Yeah.
Well, the company's well invested in going up in the Arctic Circle. That's where most of our natural gas comes from. As far as what we see, we get a lot of it from up in Canada. I mean, so the interesting thing is with like the current gas prices. I was seeing that basically it's not the availability of oil is not our problem in the U.S. as far as gas prices. It's the fact that our gas reserves, not crude, not sweet oil, not it's the fact that even with our refineries up and pumping it out fast enough that we just because we're sending a lot of it overseas. And we're exporting it. That's great, but as we're exporting it, we're not necessarily going to be able to meet our demand. We still should be able to meet our demand in our production, but it's just going to cost us more.
It's a scare. It's the big scare of this time.
Well, it's a cycle that happens. I mean,
you look at everything we had in the 70s, you had in the 80s. It's like every 15 years you have those cycles.
Yep.
The one things that politicians have gotten down to a science is they know that the American people need a boogeyman. If it's not Russia, it's China. If it's not China, it's Israel. If it's not Israel, it's the price of oil. If it's not the price of oil, it's the Arctic Circle is shrinking. If it's not the Arctic Circle shrinking, it's Venezuela. If it's not Venezuela, I mean, it's just without the boogeyman on the horizon, life's too good here. And people realize that it's really good. And we don't really have a whole lot to worry about like the entire rest of the world does. And politicians then can't ask for billions of dollars for this or billions of dollars for that because you won't give it to them. You'll say, no, I don't want that. No, why would I do that? That's dumb. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So they, and it's been this way since after World War II. Because, and understand that at the close of World War II, we owned the world.
Yep.
And we gave it back. Do you understand? Yeah, that's like crazy, right? Like to think of now is like if if Russia had done that, they would never give anything back, and they didn't. Right? They held on to everything they had as long as they possibly could.
Yep.
Yeah, but it would have failed. It would have failed just as bad as when the block broke up, right?
Sure.
It would have been the same thing. It would have been our side doing it, right? You can't hold that large of a not for any period of time. I mean, the British Empire was probably they did the best job of it, but in the end, I mean, they just kind of let there was a couple countries, U.S., but eventually they just like, well, we'll kind of let it go, and
We
I mean,
we decided to
Canada's
go another route, and
yeah,
it's interesting the way that this is all kind of worked out. Now, obviously there's some revisionist history there that we all, some people agree with you and some people won't because of, there's a couple of different versions of history, whether we'd like to admit it or not. That is the truth. But so while we could not, we could not have probably held Europe per se, but we own France and Germany, Spain, almost all of Italy, and most of North Africa. Like that was all ours, and we gave it back. Now, we didn't do that out of the goodness of our hearts. We did that with the understanding that that they were going to play ball with us, and they did for a time, but they've gradually gotten to where they don't. And the biggest problem is I would actually really have preferred we just said, okay, we won and we gone home. That's it. End of it. Like, we don't care what you do here, do whatever. But we didn't do that. We set ourselves up as a world police. We set ourselves up as a world enforcers. And not immediately, but once we get into like right around 1949, 50, somewhere along in there, we start messing around in Iran because Iran and the Middle East is being explored for resources by mostly the French and German companies, but we were there too, and but we were trying to control the government. They were trying to buy the rights to mine, right, from a bunch of nomads, a bunch of people who could have cared less. They lived in tents. They didn't have cities. They didn't want cities. They didn't want an oil field over there, right? Like that's just was so bizarre to them. And then we, the newly formed CIA did what they now currently always do, and that's they put their finger on the scale.
Yep.
And they killed, they orchestrated a couple of assassinations, and then eventually we get the religious fundamentalist in power, where they had a democratic government. I mean, prior to our meddling around, which hey, I'm not saying it was right or wrong, but prior to that, I mean, Baghdad was the Paris of the Middle East, right? Like men were walking around in suits, women were walking around in current fashion. The pictures from back then are crazy. They're insane at how I mean, you wouldn't even like if I told you it was Paris, you'd be like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, I see that. No, really, it's Baghdad's Tehran. It's whatever. And the biggest problem is that we haven't left for 70 years. If we had just messed around with them and then just left and said, hey, you know what, we messed up, sorry. But for 70 odd years, we've been in the Middle East and sending people to die over there. Crazy. It's nuts. And this latest round, starting with Kuwait, we've now been over there, 30 yeers this time?
Basically my whole lifetime. I was born in 96. So
there's we've been over there so long that grandfathers are sending their sons off to fight in the war in the same place that they fought in. And that's insane. That's the definition of insanity. It just is. And I'm personally, I hope that Trump's stated goal of getting out of the Middle East and anything other than an advisor capacity and establishing the enforcement arm. I am using just air quotes there because who knows what he means by that, but the enforcement arm for the Middle East being, I think that's 8 nations. Like it's like Kuwait, Jordan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and I don't remember the other So it's like 8 or 9 countries that are supposed to band together into like a Middle East Defense Force or some nonsense, and they're going. And Iran was the fly in the ointment. Hopefully he's right. Hopefully he does it. I don't know. I can't
I
predict.
think there's too much money in the Middle East for the United States not to continue to meddle. I just don't see that. I don't see it happening. I mean, I don't disagree with you saying hopefully that does happen. That we can essentially just move away from having any kind of trying to influence the Middle East. But there's just too much money over there. I mean, some of those guys over there, because they don't publicly produce the amount these wealth that these guys have, could buy Bill Gates a couple times over, right?
Sure.
And so there's just so much money there.
In fairness, Elon Musk is worth more than the entire GDP of Canada. So yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
when you're literally worth more than a country produces, that's hilarious. No, I don't disagree with you. I will say that what Trump has done is brilliant. And it's brilliant in a way that people haven't seen. A lot of people haven't seen and understand yet. What he's really done, starting with Venezuela, is he's closing down the network and ways that the oil and the money flowed and was converted into drugs and cash, and then outside of the banking systems to fund terrorism and other things like that. When it was also a lot of it also going back into these various governments. And pardon me, talk too much. But he's basically controlling where the oil goes and where it can be sold and where the money can be deposited. He doesn't have to own production. He doesn't have to own the country. He doesn't have to lead the country. He doesn't have to do any of that. He just has to say, you can do whatever you want with it in your country, but once it crosses that border, now it's got to go through a recognized banking system, a recognized financial system. You can't get around this anymore and funnel billions of dollars into terrorists that want to kill us. That you can't do that anymore. And he's been pretty damn effective at it, and he's going to keep being pretty damn effective at it. And I think that's why he just doesn't care anymore about, not that he ever did. I'm not going to speak for him. I don't think he ever actually did, but he just doesn't care to go to war in the Middle East anymore because it accomplishes us nothing. Yes, Gerald is right. He is also shutting down BRICS by controlling where the oil can be sold. So
he's playing a version of political monopoly.
Yeah,
if you think about it in a long-term thing, it's exactly what he's doing.
Gerald, it's not really the petrodollar. I mean, it's not a bad way to think about it. It really isn't correct though. And again, this is actually what I do in my normal show is I talk about all of this stuff, and it's just it's really not. We don't care about it's not just a petrodollar. It's basically anything. What was happening is that you would have this energy. Let's just, and it doesn't have to be oil. It could be any natural gas, anything. And so basically, let's talk about what's really going on here, right? So is it another war, right? Because everybody thinks that we're at war. But we're really not, because we bombed a few things, but it's not the same as an actual war. And even if it is, what would the end game be, right? So, and I just go back to, it's not the ownership of these oil fields. It's not he doesn't have to own Iran. He doesn't have to be the leader in Iran. He just needs it to be stable. And the United States needs to control the system of flow, right? It's control of that flow system of oil, natural gas, gold, all of these natural resources into markets, into the banking system, and back around, and think of it as energy leverage, if that's easier, right? So, and we demonstrated that in Venezuela. Instead of seizing the oil refineries and the oil wells and all that outright, what Trump did was he put somebody in place and said, "Now you're going to play ball, or I'll remove you and put somebody in." Basically, he's corporate, right? Corporate puts a manager in and says, "All right, do the job, or we'll fire you and get somebody else to do the job," if you want to think of it that way. And instead of seizing those resources outright, he's controlling the system of who can buy it, who can ship it, and where the money settles, into what banks and markets that money is moved. And so it's helping Venezuela. I mean, production climbed huge as soon as he put everybody back in all of the companies that owned it back into place. And we're already seeing how that's actually working there. The press isn't talking about it, because why would they? They don't like that. They don't like success. If we apply that framework to Iran, where we don't go in, we don't put in, we may put in a leadership that's friendly to their neighbors. I think that's the goal. But if we put in a system of controls where they can't sell and trade this oil and all this stuff on black markets, the money to fund terrorism goes away. The money to have that's poured into political campaigns into our country goes away. And we know where the banks are. We know we know where the money goes. We know where the resources are, and that's what he's doing. What he's really doing is it's just leveraging the flow of energy around the world. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's really smart.
He's basically, like you said, he's basically doing what he did as his business, just
right,
on a world scale. It's exactly what he's doing. He's being a businessman.
And he's basically, he took over the company, and it's like, wow, accounts receivables suck. You guys are bleeding money. Like, I'm fire all of you guys because you're terrible. Oh, and look, shipping's like have stuff falling off the truck every 3 weeks. We can't have that. Somebody's obviously stealing. We got to get rid of those guys.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way to put down, and you can see it in what he's doing and how he's doing it. And he's like JD Rockefeller with a conscience, all I can say. I don't know. I mean, is he the best guy for guns out there? No, but thank God the Supreme Court's on our side. That's all I can say. Is he somebody that I would contract to build a building with? Probably, but I'd have it in writing. All of it. And,
he has chosen.
Don't trust him really any farther than throw him. So
he has probably chosen the best ATF director ever, for sure. About that one.
Yeah. And the ATF director has just been like shocking.
Have you listened to the interview yet?
I've listened to a couple of them, and they're just shocking. Like, it's like the plain languageness, the lack of double speak, the lack of
it comes from one of us. That's
what we haven't heard. Not even one time we haven't heard. I'll have to get back to you on that, Senator. I'll have to look into that, Senator. I'll have to. Not even one time as he said, I'm not aware of that. I'll look into it. I'll have my people send you something over.
Yeah.
Not even one time. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's because he comes as one of us. He started from a beat cop on the street and worked us all the way up to the top.
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
He even said he enjoys building ARs with his kids. I'm like, hey,
my man.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Yeah. Where building ARs with your kids lead you.
Oh, yeah.
To the range, obviously.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they want to build more and more and more and more. So
his in-laws own Checkmate magazines. That's sweet.
Acting AG.
Yeah, the acting AG. That's awesome. I did not know that.
Yep.
That's sweet.
So
I've talked a lot. I feel like I'm like over talking. I don't know why.
nope, you're good. So I have both your YouTube channels in the show notes.
Oh, nice.
So people can follow you there.
Yeah,
It was
be
fun having you
careful
on.
over there on the An Unreasonable Man channel. I use adult language and I'm harsh to people.
We use adult language here usually, so. But
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't give a fuck.
We're all Midwest. Us three are Midwesterners, so
yeah, I destroy
We're
worldviews.
we're used to it.
yep.
So it's my job. Crushing liberals beneath the boot heel. That's what is supposed to happen. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm sorry, I kind of went on a long deal about Trump. I think it's fascinating to watch what Trump is doing because it took me a while to pick up. I couldn't figure out why he was going after Venezuela, really. And then I really sat down and thought about it. And I read a bunch of things. I read some opinion pieces, and it just kind of like, you know, what he's doing is he's basically put controls on a market that had no controls on it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in charge in Iran. It doesn't matter who's the leader there. None of it matters.
No.
Because at the end of the day, we're protected.
The thing is, when he went after Venezuela, I knew that was strictly about the oil, and it was about getting someone from, quote, our side back in control of the country. Before they went too far along the path with China.
Yeah. And
Iran, I was thinking it was kind of the same thing. It was going after China's oil supply. Because China was getting most of their oil was coming from Venezuela and from Iran.
Yeah. I thought that too. And I had a lot of people propose that to me. But when I think about it, China's not really our enemy. They don't really care about us. They need us as a market, not as much anymore, but they need us as a market.
Yeah.
And it never made sense to me that people want to really like go after China, right? Like it just doesn't make sense. But when you look at the pressure that we can exert with China, and you look at the meeting that they just had in China, right, where Trump goes over there, and so just as a kind of prep this, we are still the biggest manufacturing company in the world. We make more stuff than any other country. China doesn't even come close. Any two countries in Europe don't make as much stuff as we do in manufacturing. The difference is we don't make cheap widgets very often. We make decent quality to high quality stuff, a lot of technology. And one big thing that we make in this country very well is airplanes.
Yep.
And that's why the director of Boeing went over with Trump to sit down. And apparently they've inked a contract to buy a bunch of Boeing jets for China.
I think it was like 200 or 2,000. I don't remember which one it was. I saw the number recently.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
It's a big number of airplanes. It's quite a bit. So, and there was other trade deals struck down there too. And so when we're looking at this, when we look at it, what's actually going on is China had oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz that Iran wasn't allowing to leave.
Uh-oh.
We said, hey, China, we'd love to help you out, but we got all this other stuff to do. Sorry. So they sent their boats over there to take care of it, backed up loosely by our American forces, very loosely. So you've got to really look at how, to me, the way it looks to me is China was counting on us to put American lives at risk for them and to get their ships out of Iran. And we said no. Why would we? And they sent their ships. We kind of loosely backed them up. And that's kind of even. Now, it's kind of even, right? The way the press was spinning it was that China was sending the ships to engage our ships. You literally, I mean, I think you can still find the article in the New York Times if they haven't taken it down. It's still there. That China's sending warships to confront the U.S. in the Strait of Hormuz. And that's the dumbest thing ever, right? It's just stupid.
Well, it's the times.
Yeah. Gerald says that is the only thing I have disagreed on you with. He believes China is an enemy, too many spies, and too much stealing of intellectual property. So here's a problem with that. The Chinese don't believe in intellectual property.
No.
So we do. So to us, it's a problem. To them, it's Sunday or Tuesday.
Which is why Apple had such problems with the iPhone being fake made and over there. It's because China doesn't care.
Yeah. And I know people that, so I actually know the guy who set up Apple's manufacturing in China. They tried it in Vietnam first, and the Vietnamese couldn't do it for whatever reason. They kept bending pins. They had quality control issues. They then moved it to China, and it's been there ever since. And he set that up, and he said, yeah, we know that there's going to be a certain amount of duplication, and we're okay with it. Because anybody could buy one here and do the same thing. Like, what do you
Right.
But China's got some weird laws. You guys probably don't remember this because it's been like a long time ago, and it wasn't that big a news story. But actually, my wife had a schoolmate, and they, I guess they worked together at a company, and he was a contractor or a contract employee who he was born in China, went to school there, moved to Texas with his family. He became a citizen, a U.S. citizen, married, all of that, went back to China and was using his kind of his network of school chums, right? People he had gone to school with to network and gain, to get inroads into various businesses. And this company that he worked for, they dealt in databases. So mostly mineral databases, where this is located, where that's located, how many tons we think is going to be over, that sort of thing, and energy. So anyway, it was that's what they did. They dealt with information. And so the guy goes over there to China, and he comes back with an offer to this company that my wife worked for, that he would sell them a database for like $80,000 or something like that. And and they said, yeah, absolutely, we'll do that 100%. The problem is that he had gotten that information through his old school buddy, and it wasn't like public information, but it wasn't secret either. It was kind of like restricted, I guess, to some degree.
Yeah.
And the Chinese found out about it. And the Chinese didn't have a problem with them paying paying his buddy the $10,000 to buy the information. Their problem is that he marked it up to $80,000 to sell it to his company. To the Chinese, that was defrauding his own company, and they put him in jail for 7 years for it in China, and they fined him $10,000. So it's a very interesting thing. They have very interesting and very clear guidelines about what you can and cannot do. So, and apparently that was over the line. But yeah, it was and the guy was based in Texas, and he was trying to say, hey, I'm an American citizen, you can't do this. And China said, yeah, well, you were here and you committed the crime here. So got 7 years in Chinese jail, which
No thanks.
yeah, right. It seems suboptimal to me. Like, I don't want to go there.
Nope.
But yeah, I actually don't believe China is our enemy. I think China is kind of their own worst enemy, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, they're going to have a population issue eventually because don't they have? I don't know if it's still a law.
It's a great. No, it's not. It's not the law anymore. But it's a great conversation to have around the idea of the birth rate crisis. I love that. That's a great discussion to have. I love it. It's
yeah.
So you know that in the United States, we actually have a birth rate issue. I don't think most people know that.
Yeah.
And but did you know that the exact amount of birth rate discrepancy, if we banned all abortions and there were no more abortions, it would fix that 2% that were low is what is being aborted. So it's not that we have a birth rate issue, it's that we have a murdering issue. So just put that out there.
Yep, that's the correct.
Yeah. So I mean, and people will argue about that all day, but I mean, it's just math. Like I'm not even inserting politics into this. This is just simple math.
Yeah.
We have a 2% decline in population. Well, guess what? We're killing 2% of the population. So if we stop doing that, we don't have a 2% decline.
Yeah.
So, Gary 7 says Islam can never assimilate into a Christian-based nation. I agree with that. In fact, Islam can never coexist with any other established religion. Absolutely, that is in the Quran. I don't know that you spelled Quran properly, but that's okay.
No.
Yeah, I think Islam. I think Islam is a, it's an interesting discussion that that has a lot of nuance to it, mostly in that, well, they want to kill you, and people trying everything in the world to dodge the fact that, that they want to call Islam the religion of peace when it is literally not.
Yeah. Well, those are just the radicalized. No.
Yeah. He got me there. Do you see that? He got me. No, that's not. I mean, it literally says killing people's okay. It's fine.
Yep, absolutely. So,
yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yep. I'm gonna be over on my show. My show is live on both of my channels right now.
Awesome.
And so you guys are welcome to come over and hang out for a few minutes. I won't be on long. I did promise my wife, my long-suffering and beautiful wife, that I would not be up too late tonight. And so you're welcome to come over and hang out. And you guys, it's been great talking to you guys. Mostly I did. It seems like I did all the talking, which is apparently fine with me because I can do it. And I had a great time.
It was a blast having you. So
happy to come back anytime. We can talk about the Frankfurt X10, and I never had any primer issues with it. The only issue I've actually had with the X10 were self-induced.
Yeah.
Everything else, I mean, I put it together, it runs. Unlike my 650 that managed to blow the primer tube into my ceiling twice. So I can see you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, one of our co-hosts did that.
Yeah. Yep. So you guys have a great rest of your night.
You too.
I'm just gonna to the folks in the chat. It was great hanging out with you guys tonight, and I really appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you.
Yeah, absolutely, it was a blast, and it was nice to have all the different conversations. It's one of those things that for 12 years we've stuck to just reloading, and kind of every once in a while get into a little bit of other things, but it's nice to expand their horizons from time to time. So
I'm willing to talk about reloading, shooting, politics.
It was fun to hear. It was fun to hear about your reloading in relation to your shooting, and it's not like you're just doing local matches and stuff. You're doing national stuff.
Yeah,
you're doing a lot of shooting, and that's kind of the thing that Ken, who popped in a couple times, he's He's really starting to get there.
Yeah.
And we've had in the past, one of the co-hosts just started into 3-gun at the time. One of them was F class.
Okay.
For a long
I don't
time.
have the patience for F class.
I don't either. I don't have the patience to do any long. I do Steel Challenge, and that's fun.
Steel Challenge is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But yeah.
Well,
so
let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Right. Sounds good. You got my email. I'm easy to get a hold of.
So. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Should I just dip out, or you guys want me to hang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah. All right. Where's my get out of here button?
Oops. There we go.
There we go. What's up, everybody? Let me put myself back on the screen there. Never had an issue with my 550, so maybe quit fucking things up. Well, you've got a 550, which is barely reloading. The 650s have some plastic parts that wear out, and if you push the envelope a little bit and don't replace them early enough, or maybe you just don't notice or whatever, you'll explode. They'll crush a primer, and then just the way it works, it just chain reaction straight up the thing. It's awesome when it happens. Not the worst thing ever. Hey, Ag, what's up, man? It's your birthday. It's been a great day, just giving and making it even. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. We've got, consider this, nuclear material has a unique signature of sorts. You can actually tell where it came from. Why is Trump adamant we get it? Where did it actually originate? From Barry, perhaps? So Rass Illusion, all of that's true. However, here's the thing. We gave them the nuclear material to start with. Iran didn't have to steal it. We gave it to it. Weird ass gun prattle. It really was. We're talking politics and stuff. Oh, man, I missed out. Ag gifted 5 Unreasonable Man memberships on his birthday. What a giga Chad. That's awesome, man. That's so awesome. Well, that was a good time. I had a great time over there on the wonderful Reloading podcast with those guys. They were fun. That was really good. So, yeah. Clover Tack, if you want to jump up, I'll send you a link. I've got Discord open right this moment. Or I can go to bed. Either way. You've already got the link, Hot Rod. Come on up. Do. So you guys, I don't know what else is going on out there in the world tonight. I've been kind of closed off the last couple of days, if I'm honest. If I'm honest, it's been kind of chilling, you know. It's doing my stuff. We are trying to get this event down in Texas going. We'll see how that works out. Got a lot of stuff going on. Just wait for Clover to figure out how to make the wooden buttons on his whatever antique he's using tonight work. Oh, there he is in the back. What's up, my man? How are you?
Yo.
How you doing, man?
I'm okay. Tired, but otherwise okay. Sitting in the rain right now, or not in the rain, but
Yeah, don't sit in the rain.
sitting on the porch watching it rain.
That's good times. Good times. How you been, man? It's been a minute.
Been busy.
Yeah, let me put the proper background up for you.
Lots to do.
Yeah, seems like it.
Sit down, have a beer, drink a beer, be an asshole. Yeah.
Uh,
I got in trouble. I got in trouble for being an asshole today.
Did you really?
Yeah, so Facebook, which is we talked about that I think the other night, it's the absolute fucking worst as far as comments and people commenting and
Yeah.
the people that comment out there on the internet anyways, 99.999% trolls. And I like to have fun sometimes and I'll spend like an hour just oh my God, I'll be hateful and I come up with your mama and all kind of stuff, right? And I had a fellow creator that reached out and was concerned that I was being too mean, cussing out the trolls and the whatever. Like, huh? Okay.
Wow. Hopefully they don't need to look at mine.
Like, all right. Well, I can do one. I can go like one of three ways with this. He's like, what's that? I said, well, I can not look at. I can continue cussing out the trolls and having fun. I can not look at the or I can not look at the comments at all. Period. Like
Yeah.
the only that's basically the only two ways to go here because if they're going to be assholes on the internet, I'm going to match that energy a lot of times and be an asshole back.
Yeah.
I don't
Why
owe
would you?
them. I don't owe them. I don't
It's
owe
growth
anybody
energy.
free content, and especially not free content and sucking their dicks in the comments on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how that works.
So
So,
fun stuff.
huh.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
did you you're supposed to go shoot Sunday morning?
I did go shoot Sunday morning. You want to see a clip? I think I got a clip.
Always.
All right. Let me jump over here. So I'm going to preface this by telling you that I use my drone a lot. I use my drone every stage. So I'm going through the footage to get a. I'm going through the footage to get the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Hey, just a just a heads up.
Yeah.
Facebook came up, and I know we've talked about it. I'm telling you
Yeah.
how there's folks crushing it over there. You want to swap that around and go vertical on your drone. If you are going to do that, go 4K vertical for sure.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I never. I always do it with the eye towards YouTube, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you. I understand.
If you're going to play that game for a match or a couple of stages, or you don't got to do it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can figure something out.
Vertical, switch it vertical and do a couple for that. Yeah.
I think there's a way I can do it in post, in editing.
You can, but then if you're not going 4K vertical, the quality, if you're doing 4K horizontal and trying to cut it, like it sucks, man, because it's going to be hard. It's going to frame weird when it tries to follow you. It's not going to frame you within the vertical up and down. Right.
Yeah, I'll
Been
have
there,
to
done that.
figure that out. Yeah. Yeah. So let me get this ready, and go ahead and share.
Oh, can I
this.
tell a weird story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, never mind. You got your clip up. Let's go.
This only takes a second. I gotta give you sound.
So I'm told. And grab 2 rounds. All right. Now, this is on the table, or am I holding it?
On the table.
On the table.
On
all
the
right.
table.
Do I
put it however you want it on the
all
table.
right. Thank you.
As long as it's broken open.
Yep. Gotcha.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
Keep in mind the drone is right in front of me.
I'm impressed you didn't shoot the drone. I am too. I really thought it was coming. Kind of hoping it was there. I know. I don't know what that.
I noticed something. I did see that earlier. I think earlier you dropped it today or maybe last
I
night. I
did.
don't remember.
I did.
Anyway, it looked like your drone spazzed. It looks like it lost you when you went around that
It
barricade.
did. It did because I only moved like one step, and it
And like,
swung all the way behind me, and there were people milling
yeah,
around, so it lost me.
like I only know that because I have the drone, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
most
Yeah,
people
you know
would just
exactly
think
what
you.
happened.
But yeah, most people would just think, you know, whatever. They can't. You move the camera or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's spazzed out.
Yeah. But what do you think of shooting under the drone and then shooting over the drone?
No, that's pretty cool. I love those shots. I like doing that with mine too, where the drone's in front of me and I'm shooting either side of it or, whatever.
Yeah,
Or it's
it's pretty
almost like you're
rad.
shooting at it.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. I dropped it last night, I think, and it worked out pretty good. I've got some more footage of that. I haven't uploaded it yet because the video footage is so much, and I have 3 different computers, and I
So,
hate moving them between each other.
yeah.
I've got a external hard drive that I put all of my footage on first, and then I just move it. I just work on it depending on which computer I'm happen to be sitting at.
So I've got an idea. The footage you've got, you could already do this when we're talking about the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
Do split screen like you're doing there,
Yeah.
but do it top and bottom. Do top and bottom split
Yeah.
screen because you're dealing with vertical. And you could totally use the footage you've got and do that.
Yeah.
I would play around with some of that. Yeah. I didn't think about when I was talking about doing the vertical earlier. Until you played that, and it dawned on me. Oh, this fucker runs both cameras. So yeah, if you're running both cameras, yeah, just do split screen like you did. Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah. So it's the cameras ran great. Everything's really good.
Now you had to shoot that was a side by side.
Yeah. So I had a coach gun. So you had to load the coach gun on the clock, which is annoying. I don't think that you should ever have to load a stage gun on a stage. That's just stupid.
I think cowboy action you have to.
Yeah, but people don't have to. Well, all right. So when you were talking about a stage gun, that means a gun that you don't own. It's not your gun, and it's there for everyone to use.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was fixing to ask you what that was, but yeah, it's not yours.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so a stage gun is a gun that's staged, right? And it could be a pistol, a shotgun, a rifle, a bow and arrow, whatever. It doesn't matter. Little cannon. But one of the things that and there's always nonsense about how to handle these staged guns, right? Like for me, I really don't want to use the stage gun on the clock is my biggest thing. And that's always annoying to do that. Usually what the way I've seen it handled the best is so like if I'd had that gun loaded at the low ready or loaded with the at trail or whatever, just whatever you want to use for a shotgun, but loaded and ready to go, and then they just say when you're ready, engage those targets. The timer will start on your second shot, right? So then I would just snap up, shoot the 2 targets, dump the gun, and then I'm off to the races with my regular gear that I know how to use. The problem is you get these guys that have never even thought about handling a double barrel shotgun, and they don't know how to work the safety. I didn't know how to work the safety. I had to figure that out on the clock. But they don't know how to open it. That gun's really stiff. It doesn't, break as soon as you open it. So it's stupid, and I don't like it. I've never liked stage guns. I mean, I like to shoot cool guns. Don't get me wrong, but if it affects my time, it's annoying. So,
Well, you also got to, with any type of a staged thing like that. I mean, how do you know where it patterns, or how do you know
Right.
point of aim, point of impact? How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know this shit? Right? You don't.
Most people missed a flying clay. So, it's one of those things where I think that if you're going to have one, I think there's a way to do it successfully, and I don't think it was done successfully in this case.
Well, a little known secret. I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag here. What actually happened? Grid missed the flying clay too.
No, I did not. You
But
can see it
but
explode.
he had a 410 shell mounted to his drone, and his drone shot the clay.
That's
That's
right.
what happened.
I droned it in. But yeah, I mean, I just have a real thing about stage guns, and I like like I've shot some really cool stage guns. There was a stage where we shot a Barrett 50 at like right at a half a mile or a mile or whatever it was, and and you started like on the gun. When you were ready, you would like hold your hand up, and then as soon as you broke the shot, the timer started. So you could sit there and get down on it and really take a bead and shoot it. And then, whether you hit the target or not was relevant. The other thing is I don't think that hits should count against you. Hits or misses should not count for or against you with a stage gun, because you've never used that gun before in your life. You have no idea.
Right.
And so,
well, it does add, it is kind of neat because it does add, I see the novelty of it too, though, Grid.
Yeah, it's novel.
Because it adds a top shot style element or something to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody, you can be good at a specific discipline, right? A specific thing.
Sure.
But then just to be Billy Badass, I can shoot anything, like is like totally different.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. But I agree with that. But here's the thing. I agree with all of it, but it on the clock, it's annoying.
Yeah, like maybe have it as some kind of bonus or something.
Right. And that's what that's what I'm saying is like, as long as it doesn't affect my time or my score, I'll shoot all the stage guns. I'll shoot any gun you want me. Put a gun in front of me, I'm going to shoot it. But I don't want it to count against.
Well, it's kind of like counting X's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like counting X's only comes into play if there's if there's perfect score ties.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, how many broke X's? Oh, okay, this guy broke 6 X's. This guy broke 7. Okay, this guy won. Same score, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, with stage guns, it's just they're very rarely handled right, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I've seen people do them right. I've seen people, do a really good job with stage guns. Like I said, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. I've definitely seen both. And, it's fine. Personally, I think that it's personally, I think it's a novel thing to shoot guns. I just don't ever want it to count against me. That's my biggest thing.
I've not done very much of the run and gun stuff that you do. So I've never run into the stage gun thing, but I have done it with 3D archery before, where you'll get somewhere and there'll be an atlatl or whatever, or there'll be a sling. I've had that happen before. I've had where there was a oh man, what are those? It's the little hoop with almost like a slingshot, right? It's the little hoop you put the arrow through and pull the rubber band thing back. And,
yeah.
And sometimes there'll be, it'll be like compound clash. You'll have to shoot a random longbow or something that's there like crazy. And then sometimes there's even trick shots where there's like a ramp and you have to shoot off of a ramp or something. Like you have to hit the ramp first. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. Always found that was kind of in one way it's kind of fun, and then in the other way it's kind of unfair too. It's like, okay, if you crush it, it's fun. If you don't, it was unfair, I guess. That's
Right.
how it goes.
Yeah. Well, no, no, I don't go that far. So for me, if it's, um, the, I just want everybody to have the same shot, and it's not the same with a stage gun. And I've always felt that way. And I know that there are other people like, oh, it doesn't matter. Stage guns don't mean anything. And I'm like, yeah, because it didn't malfunction for you or whatever. But I know people that, um, I've known people that when they find out a match has a stage gun, they will start talking so much shit, um, because, um, they've had them malfunction on them before, or whatever, and it's pretty terrible.
Yeah, I can see it.
I get it. I see both sides.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I just don't. I guess again, for me, I love to shoot any kind of gun. I just really don't want, to have it like count against me, right? So that's it. What's up, Glare 1%er? Good to see you, my man. Snuck in there. My internet is being weird tonight. It keeps crashing my YouTube windows that are open when I'm like monitoring the live. It keeps crashing. I don't know why. But it didn't earlier, but it now is now. Massey did miss. Massey missed because Massey ran his mouth and lost the backing of Trump. And that, and I don't know. I like him. I thought he was a good guy to have in there, but we'll see. So, you ready for GunCon?
Wow, fuck yeah. Talked to the guys at One Horse USA today.
Yeah.
So
Is Daria going to be there?
They're going to be there. Daria should be there, yeah.
Cool. I need them to be there. I need to talk to them. I need to talk to them and Gerson.
They will not be there.
Yeah. I should call Gerson then. So I got to get on this. My schedule's starting to kind of clear up.
You mean EAA. You're not going to talk to Gerson. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yes, you're correct, EAA.
So do you remember the 2035 it shot? High power, the modern badass looking high power.
Yes, the Gerson.
I got it's a Inglis.
Inglis, okay. I do not remember that one. I remember the Gerson one. I don't remember that one.
The high power, really? The Inglis, the brown one or whatever?
I thought that was the one we were overlooking at Gerson.
That was over at SDS.
SDS. That's I'm saying Gerson. I mean SDS. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I remember. The one with the really cool grips.
Yeah, I got the email today, and they're projecting those are going to go into the pipeline in the next couple of weeks. So
sweet.
Yay!
Well, I've got Aaron Hayes is going to come on.
Nice.
He's match director and he's a gunsmith. He's related to Jim Clark. The legendary 1911 gunsmith.
Yeah.
He's related to. So Jim Clark is related. Is Jim Clark's daughter? I think married Jerry Mikulik.
Yes.
And
Clark Custom, right?
Yeah, and then
yeah.
I forget which one of his brothers, sisters, whatever. But they're Aaron Hayes, the Hayes brothers, Aaron and Ben Hayes, are also related to Jim Clark, and they are also gunsmiths. And so it's like a whole family deal there. They've been doing guns forever.
Right. Yeah. And over in Louisiana, what else you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, Hayes is in Texas.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Jerry and the Clarks.
Oh,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Jerry and Jim. Jim's not with us anymore, but
I've got a Clark Custom Smith & Wesson Model 10
Really?
that is competition set up, obviously, but is bad fucking ass. Long, heavy ass barrel Bomar sights. Like, this thing is, yeah. I got lucky on that because it is not a. So let me back up and say that it is not a Clark Custom as in sold Clark Custom, right? Marked as Clark Custom. However, I had seen it and it was priced like I would have bought it regardless. It was priced that good, right? And then I bought it, and then I got it home, and I got to shooting it, and I was like, Model 10 is one of my favorites anyway. And I'm like, this fucking thing is just dead nuts crazy. And like, it has had to have had work done, like, wonder who did the work. And I'm like, man, it looks an awful lot like a Clark Custom. And this was years ago, of course. So I called them up, gave them the serial number, and sure enough, like that had been sent to them like, I don't know, 15, 20 years earlier or something. And, I'd spent time with them working it over. So, yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted a minute. Yeah, I ran across a Bowen revolver. One of the big bore, like, I don't know what it was, it was a 45 long Colt maybe or something like that. It was really cool.
Yeah, you don't see those very often.
I've never seen one for sale.
Talk about Bowen. I don't know that I've ever seen a Clark Custom.
Yeah, I've never seen a Clark Custom for sale ever.
Yeah,
like
those not are not like in the wild. So, yeah, most people that have the work done or that buy one like that, they it's heirlooms and they never get rid of it.
Yeah,
mainly because of the amount of money they spend doing it. There's no telling. Like that's what was nuts. They had to have spent, whoever sent this over and had this done had to have spent 10 times what I gave for it. You know what I mean? To have the work done. They had to have had that much. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm just distracted a second. But so
you're fine.
I also I was in a gun store in Reno, Nevada. No. Carson City, Nevada. I was in a gun store there and I ran across a custom Dan Wesson. I don't know who built it, but it was amazing. It was an interchangeable barrel system. Just a beautiful gun. And I've never seen another set of grips like the one it had on it. I just keep looking, but now it's been so long since I've seen it. I probably couldn't remember them anyway, but I just remember looking for those grips forever because it was so crazy. So, but yeah, it was anyway. It's always weird when custom guns pop up. I mean, some are pretty normal, like Kimbers and the Dan Wesson 1911s.
Yeah, there's my take on that, right? There's multiple layers of custom, and people out there that might be listening need to understand this. There's the regular everyday custom shop stuff.
Custom shop, right?
Right, and that's like the low tier. Well, that's not the low tier. The low tier would be the Bubba custom. Would be the I did it myself custom.
Right, that's me.
And what we're talking about, Bowen Clark, so forth, so on, is the primo. Not even I put them even above, say, the Wilson Combats and shit, and the Langdon Tacticals even. Like the just
like
because
right?
Nighthawk might be in that realm. Yeah,
I think he is.
Because it's just more meticulous. It's more rare. You know, Wilson's pretty mainstream now, right? Lane and Tactical is pretty mainstream now.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I don't know how to put this. So I was having maybe you were there where the guy was talking about how he had a Nighthawk custom, right? And he had this gun in, and he called up Nighthawk to say that, you know, something was it was too tight or it was wrong or something like that, and he wanted a part for it. And he actually rang, and the owner and like the guy at Nighthawk answered. And he was just expecting like a secretary.
So awesome. I love that. That's so awesome when that happens.
And the guy's like, yeah, I just want to change this thing, whatever it was. And the guy's like, no, you're not. It's just like, if you have a problem with it, you send it back here, I'll fix it. That's my gun.
Right. Exactly.
And I was like, that's awesome. And kind of terrifying at the same time, but it's awesome. That's my gun. Dude, like, that's my name on that.
Did I tell you, I haven't told you my Henry warranty story, have I? So
yeah,
I've never had to do a warranty through Henry, never had to warranty anything. Knock on wood, wherever something's at. I've never had an issue, you know, or whatever. And this issue was stupid. But years ago, they sent me their Texas Tribute Edition, which is it's a golden boy that's got a really, I call it a black. They call it a black stain. I call it black paint on the stock. Very different than any other rival they have, and then with gold plated embellishments, 14 karat gold or whatever it is. All of the inlays and all the other stuff on it. Beautiful, beautiful rival that I've drug squirrel hunting and everything else, because that's why they sent it. They didn't send it to be a safe queen. Somewhere along the way, I broke it out to do some more content, because I'm always, it's getting screen time all the time. It's just a cool rifle. And I broke it out, and one of the stars in the forend was missing. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, no telling where that's at. In the middle of the woods somewhere, probably, you know. And I'm like, I wonder if I can get one of those, you know, because this was a special edition. Hell, the serial number on this is 223, believe it or not, which I thought was funny. But I call Henry. And the phone rings like twice. It gets answered. And I said, hey, you know, how you doing? Whoever it was, I can't even remember his name now. But I said, yeah, kind of a weird one. I said, I'm media. I said, I've got a blah, 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 Texas Tribute. I said, I've had it for years. I said, and it's not a safe queen. It was sent to work with, and it has been worked with. I said, somewhere along the way, and I don't know where, I've lost one of the stars in the forend. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, whoever I need to talk to, I would like to try to buy one. He goes, well, that would be me. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, I handle all the customer service and whatnot. I'm like, okay, well. So I thought that was cool. That was number one, right? And so he's like, you know, what was the model again? I forget. It was like H007 or something. And I'm like, it's a Texas Tribute. He's like, yeah, okay, I got it. He said, let me make sure. He said, I don't know if those are even still in production or not. So that's going to affect, you know, how difficult it is. And so anyway, he's like, hang on, let me look that up. Didn't even put me on hold. Like, I could hear typing and shit in the background. Come back, and he said, all right. And he said, well, what's the serial number? And then, anyway, I told him, he's like, how long, you know how long you've had it? And again, I reiterated, it was a, you know, media thing, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. He's like, it's lifetime warranty, whatever, regardless, you know, of how you got it or anything else. Like, okay. And he's like, all right. He said, well, he said, here's what we're going to do. He said, well, we're going to have to send you the whole forend. I'm like, but all I need is that little star, dude. Like, you're going to send, he's like, yeah, but that's 14 karat, whatever, gold plated, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we don't really have just the stars. And he's like, if we did, you'd have to try to glue it in. And, you know, who knows if what you glue it in there was going to stay. And he's like, yeah, we'll just send you the whole thing. I'm like, and I should back up and say that there's like 8 gold plated stars in the fucking thing. And then like the Texas thing, emblem shit is all gold plated. And I don't know how much gold is in this thing, right? It's plated, so it's not tons, but you get what I'm saying, right? And he's like, oh no, it's not a big deal. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I guess, you know, I put the old one up, and if another one falls out, I've got 7 extras, you know. And anyway, he said, okay. He said, I got all your information. He said, now it might be, since this is a special edition rifle, blah blah blah. He's like, it could be 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine, man. I'm just glad we could do something to get it taken care of. I didn't want it to continue to be on camera and pictures and other things out there in the media with, you know, a missing star on it. That looks kind of ghetto. And that fucking thing came in like 3 days, dude. Brand new, 4 in, all gold plated up and everything else. So amazing experience. Like kind of like you're talking about. Amazing experience with customer service there at Henry, man. Just top fucking notch.
Yeah. My of course I've always done my own kind of custom stuff, but some of the guys are like true artists, especially with shotguns. Like the double barrel shotguns that come out are just ridiculous.
Well, fitting is a whole other game, right?
Oh, I'm talking about just the artwork, like all of the engraving.
You're talking about all the engraving and stuff? Yeah.
And the barrel matching and the barrel twisting and
just
all of that.
Just like the fit and finish work alone. And I say this because I did it. So I took years and years ago, and I think they still sell them, but Academy had a brand called Yildiz, and it's a Turkish shotgun. And got a smoking deal on one of their really high-end models. And it was stiff as shit, kind of like you were talking about with that match gun or whatever.
The Nighthawk.
And they're just that way. You know, they're all
yeah, they gotta be broken in.
Mem part machined, whatever. And so, but looking at it, I'm like, this is a Mossberg. Like, it's a Mossberg. Like, it don't feel like a Mossberg. It's all stiff and shit, but it's a Mossberg. Anyway, and so I learned real quick that what you do, you can get those shotguns like that. And if you wanted to spend a little time, man, they would be premium. But I've got 3 of those, and each one of those, I took them completely down and filed and polished, and again, just the fit and finish work. And it was hours and hours and hours on each one to get them where they needed to be. So just that work alone is tedious.
I was I was in Texas at the match, the 3-gun match, and Briley had some amazing shotguns there. I'm actually really impressed with what Briley does. Like I knew that they were like really good, but man, and I've used their Briley spherical bushings and all that before, and like never really thought that much about it, but I like met the dude like hanging out with. So it was great. I ended up buying
some of their family owns a hardware chain around here. They got, I don't know, 4 or 5 hardware stores. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they're related, but they're related somehow.
I know that so I don't know which Briley it was, but he works, I mean, he's in that custom shop every day, and I think he does a lot with the shotguns because he knew everything there was to know about the 1301 and M2s that they do, and he also knew a bunch about or he was able to really explain all of the stuff behind their custom 22 mini precision guns, and it was actually pretty interesting. I had a great time with it. So, but yeah, I don't know. So it's going to be interesting. So
Yep.
I have a question for the chat, and you too, Clover.
Oh.
I have been invited to go over to the Raging Tomato and have be on a panel with Brian Shapiro. It's kind of one of those take all comers panels. I don't know that I want to do it.
It's a really an upside, especially if you
there's
don't.
enough
If
of an
you,
upside.
especially if you don't know if you don't want to do it. Like if it's something you just wanted to fucking do, upside. But if you don't, if you don't know,
Yeah.
then I would say there's probably not an upside.
Well, the thing is like, first of all, I think Brian Shapiro is an idiot, and all I really need to do is just just mention Andrew Wilson, and he'll just spur for like an hour.
Yeah, that dude. What little I've seen of that dude, that dude is just not a good, fair person. Like he's just not. He's hateful and acting, and he's malicious and shady and manipulative, and I mean, I don't know all of the bad words, right? Like just my take on him. And I'm usually right when it comes to calling them like that with people. Usually right. So, but I don't know. Entertaining, maybe. Depending on who's going up against or the conversation or whatever. Man, I don't guess I can knock that, but yeah, I don't care for watching anything with him on it anyway. And honestly, that's kind of like verbal combat. That was all cool at first when I kind of came over here and was looking around and playing around. But in all honesty, most of the debate stuff, it's okay to have on some of it when Andrew, will debate or do some things, to kind of have that on in the background somewhere or something like that. But the panel verse and the game show type shit and I'm kind of over that. I don't care. It's not entertaining. It's a bunch of yelling back and forth and talking over one another. I much prefer a conversation. Because that's something that's much easier to listen to in the background and kind of relax and chill to, rather than the hollering and screaming and cussing and just the goofy shit,
See, the problem is that with Sarah, there's really, with doing it on Sarah's show, it's going to be a panel. It's going to be a bunch of people yelling over at each other, and I just don't know if I want to. And plus, the whole lawsuit thing's going on. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't as I've been over there and I've been on panels over there once upon a great long time ago.
I remember.
And I cannot ever perceive ever even going back on a panel or even into the chat over there like ever again. But I'm a little different, man. You still got toes in the water and feet and whatever over there and with all of that.
Well,
so I don't. It's real easy for me to walk away from it.
I haven't been over there since she announced the lawsuit. Well, since I found out about the lawsuit.
See, I don't even understand that. I don't know. I've heard as much as you've said tonight just now about that, but other than that, what the fuck is she supposedly suing for?
Well, I mean, it's a couple of different things, but at least with Andrew and Rachel, she's claiming defamation.
I mean, you can sue anybody for anything. Sure. I get it.
Yeah, and that's what's happening.
That doesn't mean you're going to win. But it's like, what did she come up with? And it's defamation.
Well, right? So she's claiming defamation that, which, all right, this is a problem.
That's interesting. I don't ever recall seeing any defamation from that. So I don't get it. Plus, you're a public figure on the fucking internet every other night or whatever. Like, huh? Like, there's a threshold at which defamation doesn't work.
Right. Well, and the thing is that there's a lot of things to it. I'm going to say that from my position, without, I mean, I've obviously already chose a side, but without being, throwing anybody under buses or anything like that. The problem is that it's really hard to sue someone who is an entertainer that does satire for defamation. It just is, right? Like,
well,
I mean, that's why Jimmy Kimmel got off, right? And so it's just a really interesting thing, and I don't know. I feel like it's a Clovertech dropped and came back. Got two of you. YouTube's been weird tonight.
Am I dropped?
Yeah.
What happened?
I got two of you up here.
Holy crap.
That was weird. But anyway,
that was messed up. I mean, okay, I don't know what happened. All I did was plug my phone in. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
No, what I was saying was from the perspective of I'm going to claim defamation.
Yeah.
You're going to claim defamation, but you're in a space that anybody can see any number of archived shows where it's malicious, ugly, cussing back and forth all the time. Like, you're in that environment. You put yourself in that environment. You subject yourself to that environment constantly. But then now you're going to claim defamation, like somebody went too far somehow. Like, what?
Well,
huh?
yeah, I mean,
that doesn't make sense either.
It's basically claiming that because Andrew supposedly led the things that supposedly the things that Andrew said led to a bunch of people leaving her show, which is probably true. He's very influential. But those people still made that decision on their own. Even if they want to say, well, he told them to go do that, gotta go with free will at some point. Now,
Andrew's also part of the reason she had him in the first place, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just, I get it. I personally think that I think there are two things here. First, this is going to be a really expensive lawsuit.
Yeah.
And Andrew can afford it. I don't know that Sarah can. Second thing I think is, depending on the strength of Andrew's filings and in his case, her lawyer may be like, yeah, we're not gonna go forward. Just take whatever they'll offer you, and if they offer you nothing, just back out with your wallet intact.
All right.
So,
well, they'll have to, because if they tried to give her whatever, $1,000, $10,000, whatever.
Well, she's asking for 100. I think it's 150.
Yeah, she's lost her fucking mind. There's no way she's lost that much money. Anyway, as a direct result, like, there's no way.
That was perfect. That was lost her damn mind.
She
see the raw. See, when I say it, it's funny because I'm like laughing about it because I've heard it so many times. But you in that moment of you just like, she lost her damn mind. I mean,
that's nuts, dude.
It's kind of nuts.
Well,
right?
but what I was going to say is, even if they come back and they say, okay, well, the Wilsons are like, okay, we don't want to, we're tired of this. We want this over quick. So, non-disclosure, seal it up, 10%, 15 grand.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Sarah's not going to keep her mouth shut. She's not going to keep that quiet. She's not going to keep
Well,
things
she's done a
sealed.
good job so far.
There's no I don't think she can. And so there's no, and if she tells somebody in her circle in the panelverse, they're going to tell it. So, like
Yeah.
there's so many leaks in that boat that there's no win for the Wilsons
Yeah. So
except for to just squash it.
Yeah. So here's my point of view, right? And look, I'm not saying I'm right, okay, at all. I'm not saying that. So, she's done a great job of basically keeping her mouth shut and not really playing her card, not really showing her cards and all that. She's done a really great job of that. The only so I can't tell you how I know about it, how I knew about it before. I think probably anybody. I can't tell you about that. Can't tell you how I know. I know that one thing is that I know that she talked to Dusty about it because I was on a phone call where he was asked and he just got really quiet. And which is no surprise, right? They were like best buddies.
Right.
And I just don't, I mean, I don't know. I'm tempted to go on the show on the one hand, you know, I did talk and, you know, like, you know, full disclosure, I actually messaged Andrew and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to do this. What do you think it's worth it? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. The reason I'm questioning myself is I have a hard time supporting Sarah while this lawsuit's going on. And even then, you know, the whole thing with, which, you know, look, the whole thing between her and Andrew, the whole thing between her and Dusty, that's their business. I'm trying very hard to stay out of the middle of it. Right. You know, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. And that's what, like I said earlier, it's a little harder for you. It's pretty easy for me to.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
I
easier
don't
for
know
me
that
to
I really
walk away from all of it. You know, either side. It's not that difficult for me.
Yeah. I don't know that there's I guess what I'm questioning really is like, I don't know that I have a lot to interact with Shapiro about because he's just a meme at this point. Right? Like he's not a serious person. He's not someone
I
that
would
I could
agree
have
with that.
a conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this
Well,
isn't like,
you're not going to have a conversation. It's going to
no,
be
it's
a
gonna be for
shouting
the
match.
memes. It's gonna be for the memes.
You know, you already know position wise what he's going to take. You already know what he's going to say with that.
I know exactly how to bait him into like losing his damn mind.
Like where other than the drama factor and the argument, like there's nothing else there with it, in my opinion. Nothing. So
the only thing that I win is I could, you know, I could gain a few viewers, but I don't know.
But could you? But could
Maybe.
you? Because if you were going to gain viewers from Sarah, you'd have already gained viewers from Sarah. Think about it.
Yeah.
Sarah can't gain viewers without Andrew, and you're concerned about getting viewers from Sarah.
Yeah, it's true.
Come on, like you don't get viewers from people. I told this story, so I had Andrew on for the conversation of having Andrew on. Like that's the only reason. I have big creators on all the time. I've had people on way larger than him in my own damn niche. It's just, you know, bringing other people on and different perspectives in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I ended up with like a 300 subscriber bump, like maybe from having him on, maybe. Now I will say this: when he tells people to dono, you know, I did make a few $100 that podcast.
I bet.
You know, can't dispute that or lie about that shit when he tells his people to break out the wallet. They fucking break out the wallet.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as gaining anything, as far as channel wise or whatever, You know, and admittedly, my situation was cross niche, right? So
Yeah.
that could definitely be part of it.
Yeah. Well,
And in fact, it probably was. It may have been a lot of it. But again, I've had big channels on. I mean, take John Patton for example. You know how many times I've had John Patton on? At least once a year, at least, if not more like 3. And he's as big as Andrew or bigger, maybe bigger, and in my niche. And fuck,
yeah.
I don't gain from that. So the
Interesting.
whole idea that I'm gonna gain that from being on somebody's channel or adjacent or an orbiter, not necessarily. They got to be pretty huge, and you've got to kind of be a pretty loyal follower and subject to make that happen. And that's the loyal follower and subject is not grid 1.
Yeah.
So you're your own dude. So
it's true. I am my own dude. I really like what Smoking Spaceman said here. You know, besides ripping on him for his hat, which is not a flat cap, although in his picture it's a flat cap tonight. He must have heard me criticizing him for his crappy Boston Scally. Yeah, besides ripping on him for the hat, I don't know what else is there. What's he gonna? He's gonna talk about how Massey's bad for the country, but Trump should have supported him, you know, or Trump not supporting him shows that Trump doesn't understand economics or any other bullshit. I don't know, like I'm kind of I don't know.
So I'm behind on this. So back up. What happened with the I guess Massey lost?
Massey, yeah, he lost. He got primaried out in Kentucky.
Okay, he got primaried out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not a seat's not flipping, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily looking at a seat flip.
No. He so the Trump-backed candidate just smoked him.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm going to be the adversary of the guest. And that's actually my biggest concern. This is actually a really, really cogent argument. It does seem to be the case that if you're going on to be the adversary of the guest, you end up being the punching bag for the guest to fight rather than it being kind of a fair fight. So that's true. Although I make my own, I make my own fairness, to be honest. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, I don't know. I might wander, but I don't know. The thing is look, this is the bottom line for me, right? Like, I don't really have any issue with, I don't really have any issue going on, but at the same time, I don't know. Really.
I thought they were stirring shit with you, though.
No, the only person who stirs shit with me is Speakeasy.
Okay.
And he's supposedly.
I get lost in all the fucking drama over here.
Don't even. I just, the problem is I don't care enough about the drama to pay attention to it. That's why I probably should pay more attention to it, but I just don't. So.
Right.
And I mean, I don't. I don't know, man. We'll see. Well, give me a minute. I'll make a decision whether I'm going, because otherwise I'm just going to go to bed. I'm not going to get to fly this week, so I'm already in a bad mood about that.
Well, is it tonight or when is this supposed to happen?
They're live now. They're live.
Oh,
right now.
are
I'm
they?
watching it right now. I'm not watching it.
You know what, dude? You had said you made a promise to your wife. You said whatever. Like, fuck them. That's what I say at this point.
Yeah. I was on. I did some throwdown over on whatever the other night, just to remind everybody who the king is.
Got to be reminded every now and then.
That's right. Yeah, I don't like this punching bag theory, Smoking Spaceman. I think you're probably right. I mean, I only have like 6 people watching right now anyway. It doesn't do me any good to go beat up on him. So we'll see we'll see. Let me see how this looks like it's going to go, and then we'll maybe I'll jump over there. talk to Brian. He's got that Boston Scally hat on. It's not a flat cap.
Well,
I should go get my flat cap.
How many does she have against him?
Well, right now, nobody's up. Oh, wait.
Really?
I'm not live. There we go. Oh, no, it's a full panel. I got Admiral
Oh.
Gibbs up there. You got Spin City.
Oh, shit.
You got a bunch of people I don't know.
Right. Shocker.
A bunch of people I don't care about.
Even more I don't know, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I like that. Anonymous. Perhaps jump on and kick Brian to donation. If she even does it.
Can't. She won't let you do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you won't be able to do that. You can't kick the guests. You can only kick other people. I mean, I could buy the panel, which is I've done that before, but I don't know. That seems hardly sporting.
Like a lot. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. She's got enough people on there. She doesn't need me on there.
Just get lost in the fray anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting, especially with his beef with Andrew and her beef with Andrew, that now they're hooked up and doing a thing.
Well, she's been trying to get him on. I think she's had him on before. He's running out of places he can go to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he have a radio show, or is he do a podcast?
He's got a radio talk show.
Oh, he literally has a radio show.
Yeah.
Well, ain't that fucking fancy?
Syndicated. 800,000 listeners.
Really?
Yeah. It must be a small market in like Ohio or something.
Yeah, right. That's interesting because it kind of appeared that way. What time I think I watched him once with Andrew or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this dude got like a radio show? Like,
right.
Like, what?
Yeah. I don't do panels where I have to yell over people either.
Oh, you're going to have to on that one.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You got to yell over me all the time.
I can tell. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So that, I guess, lately I've been on panels. Like I was on a panel yesterday. I hopped on a panel yesterday to kind of talk because I really wanted to talk about these data centers and the mythology and all the bullshit behind it. And 10th Man was on there. I don't know if you remember that jackass, but
yeah, vaguely, but yeah.
And so I was actually really wanted to have a good conversation about this, and I felt like that me and Dennison and Avarice and a couple others could have a really good conversation about it, like really like explore some good points. And this dude just kept spurging the fuck out, man. Like he was like, or actually he wasn't even spurging, he was spazzing out, like just, and he had to make everything about him, and everything was on. And I was polite, I waited my turn. I said, hey, I've been waiting my turn. And they, the moderator would call on me and I'd start talking, and then I'd turn around and it was the same fucking thing. And this guy's like talking, and I'm like, and finally I'm just like, yeah, I'm put up with this shit. I'm out of here. See ya. Click. And he's running. Look at him run. I'm like, yeah, I didn't run. Apparently he said that. I actually don't know. I could be casting dispersions or aspersions on somebody because I've just been told that he said that I ran, and he made fun of me and my wife and all kinds of stuff. So
Fuck that.
that's another That's another useless Canadian that should never come south of the border.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a difference between somebody that has a real fucking life and somebody whose life revolves around fake online fucking pandering to an audience bullshit.
Yeah.
And that difference is that the person who actually has a fucking life, a lot of times, it gets to a point that they've just got better things to fucking do. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either you appreciate, the fact that I have a fucking life and I'm spending my time, or you don't, And I think that's part of what gets me kind of sideways and wound up with a lot of the stuff in the debate sphere and the different things. There's so many that are, I'm going to have to assume, of course, that the vast majority are introverts. They probably have no life outside of online.
Yeah.
And that's fucking sad at the end of the day. But, if somebody comes in that just kind of wants to kick back, have fun, whatever, because I have a life, I don't need this to be my life, right?
Yeah.
And it's threatening to them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And
it
I
could
get
be
it. I get why. I get why.
Yeah.
I get it. It's partially jealousy.
Well, I mean, you have to, I guess,
and
looking at it from my point of
them
view.
makes them look in a mirror,
Well, I mean, just trying to look at it from their point of view. Pardon me. I haven't been on, YouTube as long as a lot of these guys have. I'm not, I don't have all of the lore. I really don't care. And, I'm kind of like not rebuilding, but kind of redecorating the show a little bit, kind of just changing things. And part of it is I just don't, there's some things that I have been willing to kind of go along with. And I'm not willing to go along anymore with nonsense, right? Like I'm just not. Like I'm not going to be on panels where people talk over each other. I don't like panels in general, right? Like maybe 3 or 4 people. I usually hop down if it gets to be too many people. I'm like, yeah, you guys have at it. I don't care.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've got so much going on right now. Like it's crazy the amount of work that I'm trying to get done, and I'm barely getting there. But it is what it is. Tomorrow I have to. I'm going to do a rental car to North Carolina instead of taking my truck.
That's probably a smart move.
It's just a fuel mileage thing.
That's what I was fixing to say. $4 a gallon, whatever the fuck it is there on gas. Yeah.
And it's also one of those things where in the past, the only issues I've ever had traveling across the country is when my truck would break down, and it's always a fucking hassle. It always is. And it doesn't care. It doesn't matter if there's a dealership right there. And so unless I really have to, I don't drive my vehicles across country, because what I really want is like when I pick up this Hertz car tomorrow, it's going to be a new car with very few miles on it. I'm going to drive it from here to North Carolina. And if anything happens on the way, if the tire falls off, if the brakes go out, if it starts overheating, anything happens, I'm going to call Hertz. I'm going to say, bring me another damn car.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And they're going to do it. And I'm not going to be stuck on the side of the road trying to find a mechanic and wait for a tow truck and then, trying to find a hotel because now, it's going to take 2 days to get the damn parts and shit. I'm just going to continue on my way. Like it's cheap vacation insurance or cheap trip insurance. Right. Yeah. So I've got to go pick up the rental car tomorrow. I really need to get to the range and test out my long range ammo. And if that ammo is is the same as it always has been, which it should be, then I need to make 100 of them, maybe 200. And I need to load about 300 rounds of pistol ammo. Now I have plenty of ammo. It's not like I have more ammo than I'm ever going to need because the spare ammo from Texas is going to show up tomorrow or Thursday in North Carolina because the guys are coming down to North Carolina
Nice.
and shooting the match, and so they're bringing all of that stuff with them. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to remind them of that shortly. But so I don't really have to I really don't have to. I'm not that concerned about it, right? Like I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, And so hopefully, I'll get everything squared away, and once we're there, man. And it's gonna be cool. I got a lot of stuff to.
Did I tell you about the ammo I got in?
No, I don't think you did. No.
From Ammo Depot. Yeah.
No.
They sent me some 124 grain 9 and some of their 223. Some of their Sportsman Select, which is their reman stuff, basically.
Okay.
Looks good. So far has done well. It's only been a couple days now. I haven't run through just a ton of it, but one of the first things I did was inspect, kind of go through reloading. Obviously I kind of know what I'm looking at.
Sure.
Went through, checked some seating depth, some overall case length, some, just visual inspection and whatnot. And looks like pretty decent stuff, which I was kind of curious about with prices of ammo, and the way that they can get. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder, I don't know anything about this stuff, and like I wonder if it might end up being an option later down the road.
Right.
But yeah, so far looking good.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've got I really don't. Make it sound like I've got a lot of stuff to do. I really don't. So, but I have enough to do that it's,
Well, you've got, if you're like me, you've got the stuff that you've got to do, and then I don't know, 1,000-fold easily, I've got the stuff I can do. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't got to do it, but
But you should.
But well, there's varying degrees, right? It's kind of what I meant by that. You got the stuff that you got to do, you got the stuff that you should do, and then you've got the stuff that you want to do, and then you got the stuff you can do. So you factor all that up, and there should never be a dull moment. That's for fucking sure.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's gonna, I got some stuff going on. I'm busy though, and I just need to get everything done.
When do you leave out for that?
I'm gonna probably leave at 4 or 5 o'clock on Thursday morning.
Okay.
Like pretty early.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Huh. Well, yeah, talking about the renting thing, we did that, of course, for years, with the traveling.
Yeah.
And but we did it so often that it became a point of looking at the money side of it, because renting is not cheap. It became and the peace of mind is great. I get it. But you can also have about that same peace of mind with some AAA and some good warranty coverage and a decent vehicle that gets good gas mileage, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of got into the situation of, hey, we're just going to get a really nice vehicle daily driver car that's good on gas mileage for my wife. And then we will also use that for, trips. And the money that we would pay for the rentals, we just apply to that note, and it will almost cover that note. And then plus we've got enough for the extra warranties and the AAAs and all the other shit, right? So that's kind of how we've made that play. But yeah, if it was a situation where it was only a couple times a year, or something like that, not a doubt in my mind, we'd just fucking rent. She'd have a cheap paid for vehicle again, and we'd just rent.
Yeah. I mean, I could, I could take my wife's SUV, but then she would be mad at me. And, I cash those cards in sparingly.
Well, what kind of drive are you looking at?
It's 8.5 hours.
Oh,
not
wow.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of gasoline though too. So,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's not like a ton, but it's also not like next door. So, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it used to be that, and it, I mean, look, it's 8 hours. It's not a huge deal. It's going to be fine. And I'll be, yeah, it'll be fine. It's not going to be a problem. It could be a problem, but it's unlikely to be. So.
Right.
And unfortunately, my son, who's 15, has not yet actually gone down and picked up his driver's permit or learner's permit. So he can't drive. And he's going with me. And we're taking his shotgun so that hopefully he can do some practice out there and all that. But
nice.
I think I'm going to go to bed. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go over. They've got Admiral Gibbs over there. He's going to fuck them up. So, like he's not going to be a Brian Shapiro guy. So, I don't really need to be there. So, and then I don't know. It's been pretty funny to think about, but I'm not going to do it. Maybe another night. Maybe a night when I'm not like kind of tired and I need to get up early in the morning. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got rollback or roll offs to arrange. I got a bunch of stuff to take care of tomorrow. I'm going to be in the truck a lot, so I'm going to go get some sleep. Everybody else, be cool. Clovertac, always a pleasure, my man. Been a while since we've been on. You need to be on when we're actually having really cool shows. Although tonight was a cool show. We were gun prattling and politic prattling.
I missed the gun prattle. So I seen you were live, and then I didn't get a chance to, because I was on a phone call. I didn't get a chance to tune in, and then by the time I got off the phone call, it was like, fuck, I got to fix something to eat real quick. Yep. And by the time I got that, sat down and turned it on, it was like, oh, y'all were talking about all kind of international affairs, and I'm like, damn it, where's all the gun prattle?
I was trying to move it back.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we talk about this stuff all the time. And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Right. Whatever.
So, no problem.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And
yep. Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
I was going to get new glasses before this event, but I'm not going to get them in time. So, I mean, new shooting glasses, but my old ones are fine. Because they are the best. The best. Yep. And Hunter's HD Gold shooting
Fuck yeah.
glasses.
Fuck yeah.
So, anyway, you guys all have fun. I'm going to get out of here. Clovertac, always a pleasure, man. Glad that you got to hear me do some politic prattling there, along
Hell
with the other. And
Hey.
you guys have a great evening. I'm going to go get some sleep. We'll see you. What's today? Wednesday. We'll see you probably maybe Friday night if I get a chance to stream. Peace. Say goodbye to my son.